What does an antihistamine do?
What do you recommend for itchy eyes? Can I drive after taking this?
At Good Neighbor Pharmacy, we can answer all of your allergy questions and help you find the best products for your symptoms. Stop in today and let us take care of you. Get to know your neighbor at goodneighborpharmacy.com/allergies.
See the pharmacists at Gertis Pharmacy in downtown Conneaut, your prescription specialists since 1960.
Good morning, you're watching Cable Suite 541 on Channel 6, Time Warner on Channel 19, and listening to 1360 AM. Wow, on your AM radio dial. I'm Pat Williams, this is AM Live. It is 39 degrees outside. It is chilly, pretty chilly. And we are expecting rain throughout most of the day today into this evening, and possibly some tomorrow as well. Looks like Sunday we might have a little bit of sunshine and some more rain. As we start to go up in the temperatures, it's going to start warming up. All right, in the news, not a whole lot locally going on right now, but in the international news, out of North Korea delivered a fresh round of rhetoric on Thursday with claims that it had powerful striking means on standby for a missile launch, while Seoul and Washington speculated that the country is preparing to test a medium-range missile during upcoming national celebrations. On the streets of North Korea, meanwhile, North Koreans celebrated the anniversary of leader Kim Jong-un's appointment to the country's top party post in a slew of titles collected a year ago in the months after his father's death. In the capital neighboring South Korea, the country's point person on relations with the North engaged in dialogue and reverse its decision to suspend operations of a joint industrial park just north of their shared border. And this expert said that we strongly urge North Korea not to go forward with the crisis on the Korean Peninsula. Whether or not this is going to happen or not, we are not sure. Of course, they are making a lot of threats. This particular leader is 27 or 28 years old, who is called a general and never had any military experience in his life. Just put into that position and is very, very dangerous and a threat to the United States and allies that we are associated with. It appears, according to officials in Seoul and Washington, that they may be preparing to fire a medium-range missile designed to reach the United States territory of Guam in the Pacific Ocean. Such a launch would violate UN Security Council resolutions prohibiting North Korea from nuclear and ballistic missile activities. North Korea already has been punished in recent months for launching a long-range rocket in December and conducting an underground nuclear test in February. Experts do not believe North Korea will stage an attack similar to the one that started the Korean War in 1950, but there are concerns that the animosity would spark a skirmish that would build up into a serious conflict. Hopefully that won't happen. Something to keep our eye on. All right, today's the big day. It's the 5th anniversary of AM Live. Can't believe we've been here 5 years since the inception of the show. And we have throughout the show today some excerpts and outtakes of the show over the last 5 years that we'll be showing you. It's been an amazing road, really, to do what we do here. When we first started, hardly any phone calls, never any emails. Now that's basically what I get is emails on the computer here. But I want to thank and pay tribute to the Kind Telephone Company, Ken Johnson and Jim Suplee, for having the vision to proceed forward with the type of show that we do here. they were not interested in any of the controversy and the politics and all the stuff in the town. They wanted more or less to be an informational, entertainment type show. And over the years, the last 5 years, um, we have been able to find dogs and cats, little things like this in a small community like ours, in a small community that most communities do not have, are television channels or stations that are local. Um, when we partnered up with WOW Radio here a couple years ago, it expanded our territory, got more listeners in to go along with the viewers that we have here at Cable Suite 541 and Time Warner. And it's been a very, very fun time, a very rewarding time. And as little as it may seem, when you find that dog that's been missing or took off and running, it gives you a good feeling. It really, really, truly does, because you've done something to help that family out that is missing that pooch or cat or whatever's been missing. But it's been a long but fun ride here the last 5 years, and hopefully it'll continue with the support of our advertisers out there. It's been a situation that I cannot thank, and I mentioned this yesterday, the co-hosts that we have here enough. Guys that come in regularly, like Steve Grant and Kathy Pape, who started here recently with us and comes in almost every week to help out. Penny Armini, always here to help out. Chris Naylor, who started out basically with a designing show. She was into design and tried to help you fix up the house. And my wife Michelle goes, you know, that girl is a natural on television and behind a microphone. And we asked Chris to become a guest co-hostess, since she's done a tremendous job doing that. Of course, the ever-popular Chuck Guglielmo, who had to step aside for a while, for a few months here, several months actually, because he got a new position at his normal work hours. But he was coming in at least 2 or 3 times a week sometimes to help out. And it's always a good help to have co-hosts on the show. Tom Udell started out with me, started out with the radio with me several years ago, and came on that first week to help me as a crutch to get through that first week. And believe me, that first week was not easy. It was definitely tough to do, because I'd never been in front of a camera like that before. So to all those folks that have helped out with the show, and all of you out there that have followed it, I appreciate all that. And we'll have some fun today. We're going to have some good memories. One of the memories that we will be watching today is one of the emotional interviews that I have ever done. And it regards a woman in her 70s, Rose Campbell, who just passed away here a couple months ago. Rose Campbell rescued a bunch of people out of a house that was on fire one early morning here just a few years ago. And I got her to come on the show, and I interviewed her. And unfortunately, one of the people in that house died from the fire. I went to school with him, actually, John Lowry. And Rose talks about that experience as she was riding by, going to work at Dex. Noticed smoke and flames coming from this house, and she ran up on the porch and pounded on the front door and got these people alerted to this particular fire. And it's quite an interview with her. I mean, it was an amazing story. Just died just a couple months ago, or a month and a half ago probably. But what a lady, what a strong individual she was. She actually got done with saving these people and was worried about getting to work on time. So we'll be talking to her in an interview replay that we'll be showing you here in just a little bit. Some other things that we did, we're going to have coverage of the tornado that we had back in June a couple of years ago, where a ton of damage was done, and fortunately nobody was hurt. Unbelievable. A tornado in Conneaut, Ohio, and nobody was hurt. We'll be showing you some the coverage of that as well that we covered back in the day. So a lot of things going on this morning. Of course, my buddy Steve Grant will be here to help celebrate the the 5th-year event. So we'll have fun with it, and I hope you stay tuned. And what we're going to do, we're going to step aside and do a short news thing today because we want to get right into some of the things that are going on. Got Andy coming in here early this morning to help show some of these replays that we wanted to do. Just a real quick thought for the day from Sherry Allums. And an eye for an eye only makes the whole world blind. How true is that? She also wants to remind everybody that Edgewood Senior High School on April 19th at 7 p.m. they're going to have a talent show. And for $5 a ticket, you can go to the high school for this talent show. Edgewood and Braden Junior High Schools are doing this talent show. All proceeds from this goes towards the Loose Change for Leukemia in Dylan Christian's name. I would love to have a full house, she says. I am an honored guest that night and very excited. Last year, Braden Junior High raised $3,000 for this cause in Dylan's name, and I want to do better. These kids and adults put a lot of time and energy to keep my son's name alive. Go Bulldogs and Warriors, from Sherry Allums. Thank you, Sherry. Appreciate that. And certainly, I'm sure you get a lot of support for that. Also, Girl Scout Troop 80223 will be having a fund drive. They'll be at Orlando Brothers Golden Dawn this coming Saturday, that's tomorrow, from 10 a.m. until noon, doing a collection for the Samaritan House, which is the homeless shelter in Ashtabula. This is a service that they, service project that they do every month, and this is one of the service projects for this particular month. And the top things that the shelter needs are paper towels, Pine Sol, the dish soap, kitchen trash bags, carpet freshener, ibuprofen, and toilet paper, etc., stuff like that. So if you can help out, they certainly would appreciate it. And I think, let me do real quick here a update. Yeah, an author from Connie, a really good author, a good writer, Joanne Morris, is having a book signing at Barnes & Noble bookstore in Erie, Pennsylvania, for her first book that she wrote here recently, Forever My Love to You Both, a tribute to her mom and dad. That'll be on April 27th. And this is only the second book event that she's scheduled since last year, and probably be the last. She goes, it takes a lot of work to set these things up. And Joanne has put together a gift basket that we're going to be giving away here on the show on AM Live for Mother's Day. So you want to stay tuned over the next couple of weeks, about a month before Mother's Day, which is May 12th, I do believe. Yes. And we'll be giving that gift basket compliments to Joanne. She'll be on the show to introduce it. We're looking forward to that that particular giveaway. Also, Tina Sequoia sent me this in, that they are having a okay, Patrick, let's do this, a fundraiser coming up, and I've been mentioning this the last several days. A spaghetti dinner fundraiser hosted by the New Apostolic Church, which includes meatballs, spaghetti, salad, bread and butter, coffee, and pop, and dessert. Proceeds will benefit the APL, the Animal Protective League, and the Angel Fund. This will be a tour night from 4 p.m. until 7 p.m. Adults $7 in advance. If you buy a ticket today, you get a $1 discount. At the door, it's going to be $8. Children under 6 or $4. They will have takeouts available for $8. And this is at the New Apostolic Church in Kingsville at 5802 Cemetery Road off of 193 near Interstate 90. For more information, you can call 228-4372, 228-4372. All right, we got that in for you, Tina, as I promised you we would do. We need to take a break, and we'll be back right after this.
Today's Conneaut AM Live is brought to you in part by Gertie's Pharmacy, keeping Conneaut healthy for over 50 years. Anchor Insurance, protecting what's important to you. University Hospital's Conneaut Medical Center. At UH, our mission is you. The Erie Otters, you oughter be there. And now on Thursdays at 9, it's AM Connections with Penny Armini.
We're back with Steve Grant here. Good morning on this Friday morning. How you doing, Steve?
Good morning and happy anniversary to you,
And same
Dad.
to you. You've been a part of this thing since day one, way before day one, actually.
5 years, can you believe it? When we started up
The last time you took me to lunch was that first day on that Friday.
Still owe you.
Yeah, you do, for several birthdays. But we went to Dairy Queen.
We'll get it, man.
We
Yes.
went to Dairy Queen
Yeah, we
and came
did.
over here and watched them set up. I don't even know if they had a camera then.
It was so raw back then. And as we said, we were upstairs,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just that little room. And Mike Breeze was the producer back
He
then, I
was the
think.
producer, I believe, yeah.
And you were on with, for some reason I couldn't make it that first week. Maybe I was afraid. And Tom Udell was such a help to you.
He was. He was. He came in.
And-
I called him up. I goes, Tom, I can't do
And I don't blame you. Yeah, it was new to you. It was new to everybody.
I think we have some footage of that we might show you that when Tom first started with
If I'm
it.
not mistaken, didn't you have your video camera, your own video camera? And
We took videos of that Friday that
whole-
we came in the week before, or the Friday before we came on Monday, and ew, it was something.
I know that I can only imagine what you went through, and you had a lot of stuff to do. And like you say, we didn't have the computer set up, so there were no emails, no phone calls. Nobody knew what was going on. Viewers, you know.
I had to learn how to open the gate, the front door. I mean, it was like I got thrown in. So when I interviewed with Ken and Jim Suplee, Ken Johnson, Jim Suplee, I had said, I'll do a radio show, and they go, no, we want you in front of a camera. I go, no, I don't want to do that. I've never been in front of a camera. I can talk in front of a microphone.
Yeah, it's a big transition.
And it was strange. It really was, but it's been fun.
Well, yeah, I think the audience back then was two people. I think your mother and maybe your sister, and they both turned it off.
They
Like,
did.
They said this is no good. But but it was. We
People
come a
didn't
long
even know
way.
we were on.
No, a lot of people didn't even know we were on. There was no sponsors. It was.
I probably didn't even need you, Del, because nobody was watching.
It was really a struggle. No phone calls.
Oh, I said this the last time
wow.
I talked to you. We used to run like a contest, a giveaway, and it would run for 3 hours just to get people to call in.
All those.
You remember that?
Those contests. Yeah, the whole show centered around the contest.
A contest, yeah.
And
It
we
was,
did,
it
did
was
get a few
pathetic.
calls then, but I'll tell you this, doing radio, I was so terrified, so scared the first time it came on, because you and I had done radio, and it's a lot, I don't know if it's easier, but the camera's not on you, so you could roll your eyes and make some gestures if you get a goofy call or something, but when you're on camera, everything is picked up.
You gotta be careful.
So I was so concerned about, I didn't want to say anything, I didn't want to roll my eyes and everything. That was the hardest thing I had to do, but I'll tell you this, give this guy credit, folks. and listeners, because it is not easy to do 3 hours every single day, especially those early times when there's no phone calls and stuff.
Oh,
and
Lord.
even with phone calls, it's a tough job, and you are outstanding at it.
Thank
you
you.
really are, seriously.
I'm glad it's Friday today. You know, when you get to Friday, it's kind of okay, we got a couple days off.
Right.
Hey, we got this from Glenda Lowe. You know Glenda with the alpaca farm out there. Ramblin' Rose Alpacas. Happy anniversary. Sorry I won't be able to listen to you today because I'm leaving in just a few minutes to go to the Monroe Fire Hall to start making hoagies.
Oh, the hoagie.
Today is their first hoagie sale of the year. Only have to make a little over 900 this time. 900 hoagies they sell.
It just keeps going up and up and up. It's very successful.
I hope your anniversary show is great. You have done wonderful things for Connie and this little old farmer out here in Monroe. Thank you again, Glenda Lowe. What a lady she is.
Thanks, Glenda.
Nice lady. Thank you, Glenda. Hi, you're on the air.
Good morning. Happy anniversary.
Thanks, Brian. How you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. I was trying to remember what day I was on the show.
I'm sorry?
I was trying to remember the day that I was on there.
Were you on this one or were you on the radio?
No, I was on that one right there.
Were you?
Yep.
I can't remember. It's been so many interviews that we've done over the years, thousands of them. I don't remember.
Yeah, me neither.
What were we talking about? The ham radio?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Then
I think we were upstairs.
When we went to commercial, you was trying to harass me.
What's that?
I said, then when we went to commercial, you were trying to harass me.
That I believe.
Probably. I'm always harassing.
You got to do what you do best, you know.
Yeah, right. Why change now?
That's right.
That's right. That's right.
Too old for that.
Yeah. You older guys, you know. I'm not trying to keep up no more.
Hey, there comes a time in our lives when you can't, you know, or don't want to.
There comes a time where you just don't care.
Yeah, that's basically what it is.
It's like, let him run me over, whatever.
Yeah, get it over with.
That's right. Hey, you guys have a great day, good weekend, and stay out of the water.
Yes, sir. I agree with you, Brian. Thank you so much. You have a good weekend too, buddy.
All right.
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you for calling.
Yep.
All right, Brian McFadden, of course, he was on the show. I had forgotten about that.
Yeah, I don't think I was there with you that day, but I remember the show. Yeah, Brian came in and talked about ham radios.
Ham radios, yeah, because they were very instrumental in the MS bike tour and different things like that. Yeah,
Brian called up.
He might have been connected with that.
Well, he called up. He was called often when you were in radio too.
Yes, he did.
Brian.
Yeah.
Thanks, Brian.
Yeah, good contributor. Hi, you're on the air.
Hey, good morning, Pat and Steve.
Hi, Ron.
Hey, Ron.
Hey, how long you guys been on there?
5 years.
5 years?
Yeah.
Hey, congratulations.
Thank you.
Hey, you should have went on that bus trip.
Was it nice?
Oh, they didn't have any seats at all, Pat.
Really?
Really, they didn't have any place to put their cooler for their water and stuff. That's how many people was on board that bus.
Good for them.
Good.
Yeah, I came back with about 300 cleared.
Really?
Yeah, my wife spent 300 though.
Easy to happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the trade-off.
Yeah, we had a good time. Actually, I got up at 5 this morning and it wasn't raining, but I see it's raining like heck out there now.
Is it raining now? It was only sprinkling when I come in.
Yeah, it's raining out there now pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, I had to call you guys and, hey, have a good weekend, and I know you're going to sit around that fire.
Yeah. You have a good weekend too, Ron.
Yeah, catch you guys later.
Yep.
Thanks, Ron.
Bye-bye. Congratulations for being on the air for 5 years. Wish you and AML Live many more. Thank you for allowing me to come on from time to time to get the word out on our veterans and, of course, the special shows we have done for Veterans Day. Without you and your co-host, it would not have been possible. Sincerely, Nick Church. Thanks, Nick.
Thanks, Nick.
Appreciate that.
Good man.
Yeah. Guess he's running for council.
Yes.
Council
I guess it's
presidency.
official now.
Yeah.
Good.
Well,
He was effective when he was in there before. I have no problem
he
with that.
did a good job. Then he got sick and he had
Yeah.
to step down.
Yeah.
But he wants to give it another shot.
Very organized guy.
Oh boy.
Very organized. If nothing else, Nick, you are organized.
Very organized.
Applaud you.
Hi, you're on the air.
You've come a long way, Daddy.
Hey, how you doing, kid?
Yeah, you've really come a long way.
Thank you.
You're very professional now compared to the very. It was funny sometimes just watching you guys. It was a good laugh.
I'm sure it was a good laugh.
I mean, not not laughing at you and laughing with you, because it was I could just see the struggling sometimes of what am I going to do next.
Well, it was all new. It was all new to us,
Carol, it all started with you with your bathing suit, remember?
Oh my gosh, yes.
I still laugh when I think of it.
You know, I did buy a new one, but I didn't get to wear it. But that was a joke. And I did pay $5 for one.
$5?
You can imagine what it looked like.
Yeah, it wasn't not a bad bathing suit, but I never did wear it. Well, I did put it on once, just to be smart. I was going to take my picture, and I thought, oh, no, not this big fat thing.
No.
Like a beached whale.
Well, I think what you were going to do is go to the YMCA.
YWCA,
yeah. That's where I was supposed to
to exercise.
Right.
Yeah.
In water, and then I got sick, and I couldn't go, and so I never did get to do the water therapy that I was supposed to do. Now they have a regular place at the ACNC that your doctor can order, for you to go to, but I don't go. It takes my wind away to do a lot of walking, so and I save my breathing for other things.
Sure.
Yeah.
I understand. And but anyhow, I had to call. I couldn't let it go. It's too bad Sharpie can't be there today.
I know, and he would come if you was feeling better.
Yeah, I just he's been my friend for oh my God, I guess I've known him pretty much most of my life. And we've really got to be good friends back in the early 70s when I worked part-time at the Cozy Corner. And for Don and Sandy when they took it. And I had a full-time job, and then I always worked 3 days a week there,
Went by there yesterday. It's amazing. I went by the Cozy Corner yesterday. It's all boarded up now.
Oh, yeah. It's sad.
Yeah.
It's sad. I think of the Adiatos a lot when I go by there because I went to school with the kids, And what a fun place it used to be. But it's no more. And I'll tell you what, I saw pictures yesterday of what Gunnar has done to the sports line. Oh, what a wonderful looking place it is. Now, I'm so glad that sounds like he's really cleaning it up. Because it got to be an eyesore,
I noticed this morning it was open.
Huh?
It was open this morning. I couldn't
but it had such a bad reputation there, towards the end. And
he's had some problems there as well. But
I'm sure he has, and he's going to take him a while to clean it up.
And he's trying to make it right.
Oh, yeah, I know he is. And I give him 100% credit.
I give him all our support here. I hope he does well.
I do too. I know how hard it is. My husband and I had a bar in California for 3.5 years, and my ex-husband. And we didn't have a lot of problems, but see, we had a lot of migrant workers. And we just have to be careful because a lot of them were, Mexicans. They couldn't speak English. And they were illegal. They'd smuggle them in to work the fields. So it was, I know it's not an easy thing to do. So.
Right.
Well, I'll let you guys go. Have a fun day. And
thanks, Carol.
I'll probably get to watch all of you today because I don't have to go to the store or the doctor or anything that I know of.
Well, you have a nice weekend.
Yeah, you have a good weekend.
Thanks, Carol.
And I don't know what I'd do without you guys in the morning.
Sweet. Thank you, Carol.
Bye.
Have a nice one. Bye-bye.
Bye, Carol.
All right, we got to take a break, and we'll be right back.
3 generations of the Burdick family have owned and operated Burdick Plumbing and Heating since 1970. Gladly serving Ashtabula County and Northwest Pennsylvania, we specialize in geothermal, boiler, and whole house generator installations. Homeowners can save 50 to 70% on heating and cooling with geothermal systems, and tax credits are still available on high-efficiency installations. Call Burdick's at 599-8248 for a free estimate.
Makeup makes a difference in how you look and how you feel. But what if makeup could make a difference in the lives of people living and working with cancer? When you shop QVC and CEW present Beauty with Benefits for cosmetics, fragrances, and more, net proceeds benefit cancer and careers, a program that supports people with cancer who can and want to work. A little makeup can make a big difference.
Okay, we are back with Steve Grant on this Friday, our 5th anniversary day. And what we're going to show you right now is something that happened. I don't remember the date, Andy. I think it was like June 29th.
It says 27th.
27th?
Right.
It was a Sunday.
I had just got back from a hip surgery on Friday. And that was the week. And then the next 2 days later, you know, I could hardly move, you know. And then
It was a real hot, early
and
part of the year. I mean, for that
it
year.
hit south first or something. It was really strange, the wind shift and everything.
It was a Sunday. I remember I put up a bunch of ornaments out in the yard,
It was weird.
which got blown down. And I was cooking. We had friends in, or relatives in from Florida. Michelle's one of Michelle's sisters, and her daughter. And I'm out grilling, and I had to go in the restroom, and I went in the bathroom, and I hear her yelling, "There's a tornado!" And I go, "Yeah, right." I was just outside. There was no sign of a tornado. I come out, and all heck had broken loose.
Hit the
This is the footage that we have.
North
I'll
end of
talk
town.
over this.
Lake Road got hit.
Lake Road got hit really bad along the north coast there. So this is what we have. Footage that was taken by Lance Drew and Shane Brown. Now, this is just down the street, I believe, from me. Look at that tree.
Wow.
All that trees that are knocked down.
Branches, the limbs.
Trees on top of a house there.
Incredible.
Building that was knocked down. And most of the damage was done to trees, Steve. I mean, it was in homes too, but I mean, it was nobody was killed.
Nobody was killed or hurt. Thank God. Yeah. Incredible.
This is just moments after it happened. And to be honest with you, I'm not sure exactly where these locales are because these guys went out and got as much footage as they could get in a very, very short period of time.
Yeah, definitely in the Lake Road area.
There, I believe, Lake Road.
The streets off of Lake Road. There's a branch in the wires.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Extremely hot day in the 90s, and
Look at that.
Here, of course, emergency vehicles coming in. And I remember in our place, like Lakeview Avenue, it was only like 100, probably 100 yards away from our house. And we had no clue that it was happening. It was a little slow on the weather bulletins that day because I come in off the lake unannounced and
came very fast.
Came very fast. But I remember we were grilling out. I had steaks on the grill. I think you were on there for like an hour and a half because I lost track and the things got burnt.
I would say so.
Yeah.
Wow. It was incredible.
No, this is something you don't normally see here in Conneaut.
No.
Normally we do not get tornadoes.
Very rare.
And it started out, I think they said near Crystal Springs in that area, and ended up on Broad Street. It came through a swath of an area that went along Lake Road, over the golf course, the former golf course. My mom, who lives on Sunset Drive, lost a giant tree to this thing.
East-northeast is the direction it took.
Yes.
And did a lot of damage. This is great footage.
Yeah, I want to thank, even today, all these couple of years later, Lance and Shane for because we were basically trapped on our street. There was no way out. All the traffic was being detoured down our street. You couldn't even get out of the driveway. And the other end of it, where this happened, this kind of stuff happened, you couldn't get out because the road was blocked off. Wires down, of course.
It took weeks to clean all this up, remember?
Yeah, it did. It did. Just some reminder footage of what happened back on June 27th. It'll be 3 years. This coming June, I believe. Okay, Andy, that's cool. That's good. Thank you.
Wow.
How devastating! One quick storm off the lake, which started as a water spout, two of them, that merged together and then landed on shore, which usually they dissipate. This guy just kept going because of the heat and the temperature and all that stuff, and it turned into a full-fledged tornado.
A tornado, and you saw the damage, and thank God nobody was hurt or killed.
Yeah.
And it was bad enough, the damage, but to compare this one, our little tornado here, to Albion's, you can imagine what Albion's was like when we had.
Boy, I covered that one in 1980, was it 85, 86, 85, I think.
There were 11 deaths, or 8 to 11?
12, I think, 12, yeah. Going over there, it was like a bomb went off, and it was devastating.
And it's tornado season.
It is tornado season. Starts in March, and it goes right through the summer.
Right, always want to keep up in the weather, and it's better to be safe than sorry. And be up on the
rule of thumb says if you operate a business for 5 years, you've made it a success. Congratulations from Ray Barnhart. Thanks, Ray. I appreciate that. Yeah, we certainly would like to get more advertisers to sponsor the show, but I appreciate that they do say 5 years, and if you can keep in business for 5 years, you're doing something okay. So thanks, Ray. I appreciate that. Former city worker.
Yeah.
Retired now.
Right.
Yeah. All right. An interesting interview that I did way back when, and I think it started on the radio station because I remember going to Mooney's Donut Bakery, and Mrs. Cheney, who a lovely lady that works there, said, "Boy, did you know there's a really bad fire?" And she goes, "A lady was just here and said that she helped some people get out of the building, but she had to get to work and couldn't give me all the details." The lady's name was Rose Campbell. And do we have that, Andy? Yeah. And this is some of the interview I did with Rose Campbell right after she had saved a bunch of kids and people from a home that she was just driving by, going to Dex to go to work. And what a nice lady she is. We just lost her a couple months ago. Rose Campbell. Oh, okay. All right. Here.
All right, good morning, everybody. This is Pat Williams here. We're doing an interview with Rose Campbell, who made local history about almost a year ago, November 29th, 2007, when she actually saved the lives of 10 people in a burning house, rescued them from a burning house, and ironically, does not like any kind of publicity, but I talked her into coming on the air for us so we could do this one interview, and she's very gracious in allowing me to do this. Rose, welcome. How are you today?
Just fine, sir.
That's great. We did this once before on the radio. Remember?
Yes, we did.
Last year. Since that time, Rose has been honored by the governor and the fire department and all their state officials here, Debbie Newcomb and Capri Cafaro, and we want to get her on the air and talk about that. First of all, let's go back in time a little bit, Rose. It was early morning hours on November 29th when you were driving to work. Tell us, can you start at that point and what happened, what you saw and what happened?
Well, as I live on 15th Street, which is an extension of Harbor and Beaver Street. As I was going around the corner on Beaver Street, I noticed a fire on the front porch, and it seemed to be just a sofa burning at that time. But by the time I stopped my truck and jumped out, the front of the house was engulfed in flame.
Wow.
And so I ran up on the porch as fast as I could and knocked on the door, and nobody came. So finally I tried the doorknob, and then somebody did come to the door, one of the boys. And I said to him, you know, there's a fire, everybody, get everybody up and let's get out of the house. Well, at that time they started to come through the front door, and I says, no, we cannot go back out the front door because the porch is on fire. So I says, well, you're gonna have to lead me through the house because I don't know anything about the inside of the house. So of course we went out the back side door. Okay, and I thought we had everybody out, and then somebody said Grandpa was still in the house. So I turned around and started back in, and the smoke was so bad that I just could not go any further than about 3 feet in the house.
And that, of course, was John Lowry at 61 years old. Apparently went back into his bedroom in the upstairs, and I believe was taken over by the smoke himself.
Yes.
And had started out, but I think went back in maybe to get more clothes on or something.
Yes.
And what was ironic is that you did your deed there and then left. You left the scene. Someone said you stopped at the bakery for
Yes,
donuts.
I stopped at the bakery every other day and pick up donuts to take to work. And I worked for Charlie Deck, was up to Bailey's on Gore Road.
Right.
And I just didn't realize what I was doing, I guess, because when I got up to work, I was coughing and sneezing and everything, and the gentleman up there at work wanted to take me to the hospital when he found out what I'd done. And I says, no, I says, I'll just go and get myself some ice water. And so that's what I'd done.
Yeah. Did you know at the time that they had lost the grandpa?
Yes, I didn't know exactly whether they got him, were going to get him out or not, because there was a policeman at the scene when I left. And I did holler to him and say, there is a person left in the house which I cannot get out.
Well, it certainly was a brave act, and a very, very honorable, a lot of bravery involved there. Now, since that time, you have been given all kinds of awards. Of course, this is...
Well, the first one is the one from the fire department here.
Okay.
Well, from the fire department here in town.
All right, I'll get that mic. County Fire Department, in honor of Rose Campbell, in grateful recognition of your heroic life-saving actions, Thursday, November 29th, 2007, County Fire Department. That was given in December of 2007, right after the tragedy. And then...
the Senior Citizen Award of the Month was given
by City Council.
Yes.
That was given to Rose at council meeting, I remember seeing that. And
then we went to Geneva on the Lake, which was given this by the Red Cross.
I remember that too, because I remember reporting on that.
Right. That one, but
That's the certificate that goes,
Yes.
goes with that.
And then, of course, I belong to the Rebeccas, which is an off branch of the Oddfellows here in town.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a special day for me, and they rewarded that plaque to me.
It's very nice.
And then in the mail one day I came home, and on my front porch was a brown package which contained this.
Can you see that, Mike? You're okay. And this is, I can't see it. Is this the one from the governor?
No,
No.
this is Beyond, Above and Beyond, it's called.
Okay. All right.
And then I went to Reynoldsburg, Ohio a couple of weeks ago, and the governor of Ohio presented me with this plaque.
This is the biggie that you got from the state
Yes.
here, what, about 2 weeks ago today,
Yes.
wasn't it? On 9/11, I believe it was.
Yes, it was.
And Governor Strickland actually presented that to you.
Yes, he did.
Gave her a little hug,
Yep.
and that is wonderful. That's absolutely wonderful.
And then a few days ago, I received 2 more in the mail.
Okay, this is from
This is upside down.
Capri Farrow and Senator, hold this up.
Harris.
Senator Harris, who's the president of the Ohio Senate. And then Representative Deborah Newcomb and John Houston, Speaker of the House of Representatives, sent this. Like this. So that's wonderful. Good recognition. I know that's not what you were looking for at all.
I had no idea that anything like this would come out of just being there on time to save somebody's life. Yes.
Have you gotten over? It's hard to get over something like this. It's been almost a year now. Have you been able to handle this? Okay.
No, I still.
Do you still feel bad?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. You've done an honorable thing and just a wonderful thing. And as you can see, been recognized by the community and the state as well. And so, what have you been doing otherwise? Have you been getting out and about? You're still working.
Yes, I work. In the meantime, I lost my fiance, Mr. Harold Harris, so it's a little bit tough right now. Life is between everything.
Sure, sure. Still works. What are you, 77?
I'll be 78 next week, next Friday, October 3rd.
You'd never know it, huh? She walked up the steps better than I did today. It's great seeing you, Rose. Thank you so much for doing this interview. I know you don't like the publicity, but I know you were doing me a favor, and I appreciate that.
Well, thank you for having me on the program.
Thank you very much. We'll be back, folks, right after this.
Hi, I'm Jerry Orlando, and welcome to Orlando Brothers Golden Dawn, a family-owned business for over 25 years. We know our customers, and we know what you like. The freshest produce, a meat department stocked with the finest cuts, an in-store bakery, and a mouth-watering deli.
On sale this week, 5-pound bags of Idaho or russet potatoes are $1.49 each. Bulk assorted apples are $1.59 a pound. Family packs of chicken drumsticks or thighs are 99 cents a pound. Fresh ground chuck is $2.49 a pound. And whole in the bag center cut boneless pork loins are $1.99 a pound. Stop by your local Orlando Brothers Golden Dawn today.
Make you smile just a thinking about a golden dawn day. About a golden dawn day.
back with Steve Grant. That was the interview we did with Rose Campbell. What a lady she is.
The late Rose, who you lost her recently, and but what a nice lady. She was so nonchalant. She was so humble about what she did, and it was very emotional.
Yeah, she did not want to make a big deal out
No,
of it.
never thought she was a hero. Did what she had to do, and was more concerned about going to work.
Yeah, wanted to be on time. Yeah, what a nice lady. Your show has brought so many wonderful people into our lives, such as Connie Smith, Darlene, Missy Jury. You and Steve Penny and the people of Connie, you all helped make Dylan's dream come true, to help him get to WrestleMania, to see John Cena. To have my son on your show was exciting to him. He watched you every morning faithfully. Happy anniversary to you all. From Sherry Allums. Thank you, Sherry.
Thanks,
I appreciate that. I think of Dylan every day. He's behind me here on my shoulder every morning. And,
Angel on our shoulder.
He is a good boy. He's a good man. He was a man.
Yes, he sure was. With a
taken
lot of
from us
courage.
Way too early. Hi, you're on the air. I think they hung up.
Call back.
Yeah.
We'll be here till 10.
Congratulations, Pat and Steve, for your 5 great years having lived in Florida the past 6 years. I could only see you often. I'm back and don't miss a show. Keep up the great work. You are a true asset to this community and Asheville County. You leave us daily in a positive mindset and thoughts. Keep up the great job. You're my friend, Bill Everett. Remember Bill Everett? Used to be a big mainstay at the Wow Radio.
Thanks, Bill.
Over there. Thanks, Bill. Appreciate that, buddy.
Thanks,
Good to have you back to town, by the way, too. Hi, you're on the air.
Hey, Pat, I want to thank you for that tribute to Rose Campbell.
Oh, thanks, Dixie.
She was a good friend of mine. We
Was
went
she?
to the same church.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and she never judged anybody, no matter what.
Yeah, I know. She was a good
She was
lady.
a nice lady.
Yes,
Sure
she
was.
was. She was.
She was.
That's all I wanted to say. Thank you for that tribute to her.
Thanks, Dixie.
Okay, Dixie.
Thanks, honey.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for calling.
Saw Dixie on her bicycle the other day.
Oh,
That
good.
little 3-wheeler thing she drives
Good
around.
for her.
And I think she was heading towards Snap Fitness.
Yes.
I think
She's
she
a
goes-
regular there.
I think she goes to Snap Fitness.
She's a regular there, yeah.
Doesn't your wife go to Snap
Yes,
Fitness?
she does.
She like it? She
Yeah.
liked the
Yeah, she
exercise?
does. She came home. She came home one night. I think it was last week, and she goes, "You're not gonna believe this." And she just went, "I was the oldest person, and Rita's not old. You know, she said I was the oldest person." And these young girls with their body on, and Rita's cute. She's nice, but and then so we laughed, and the next day, or the next week, I think she says, good news, I was the youngest person."
Oh, well, good. Well,
There wasn't a lot of people there, but there apparently a couple older people were to the right and left of her on the treadmill, so that made her feel good.
Yeah, that kind of does, you know.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that day we were in Edgewood when I said, I remember this lady that must be related to this little girl I'm talking to, a young teenage girl, because that's my grandma.
That's
I
how
know.
come you go, "Oh,
Wow. That's where we're at now.
yeah.
Unbelievable.
As Denny Niger says many times, has it come to this?
It does.
Has
It
it come
does.
to this?
Unfortunately.
I worked with your grandmother, this cute little girl.
I was in love with her grandmother. She's a pretty lady.
Oh.
Unbelievable.
Time goes on.
Hi, you're on the air.
Hi, Steve.
Hi, George.
Steve, you know what that stupid thing the Brown want to do?
What's that?
They want to trade Whedon for Smith.
Really? I never heard that.
Smith is
Yeah,
on
I was in
another
the
team.
plain dealer.
Oh, really?
Smith is on another team now, though.
You're talking about Geno Smith.
Oh, Geno.
The quarterback for West Virginia. That's who you're talking about, right? Yeah, they just had he just had a workout for the Browns. this
Tomorrow.
week.
It's tomorrow.
Oh, is it
No,
tomorrow?
they're going down today.
Oh, is it today?
Yeah, they're going down to Miami today.
Oh, okay. I think that might be a smokescreen. I don't know if
Yeah, it's
really.
gotta be.
They want a second-round draft pick.
Yeah.
Because they had it in Wednesday's plain dealer.
Did you get your Mel Kiper book, George?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, I thought I heard you talk about it. I sent away for it. I'll get it next week, probably.
You know, we got 4 draft things here. You know, the first 2 we're taking linebackers. The third one we got Miller. That corner.
Milner.
Yeah.
Who wants to play with Joe Hayden? I see in the plain dealer.
Yeah, and then the fourth one we got a punter.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll find out in 2 weeks.
Hey, Steve, you know that trade they made, San Francisco?
Yeah.
Okay, so do we get 2 picks out of that?
I think we do. Yeah, I think a sixth and a
fifth.
And a fifth. Fifth and a sixth, or fifth and a seventh. Yeah.
So do we get all 3 of those?
Who knows, George? I don't know.
Because if we do, then we have 2 in the 6th and 2 in the 7th.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out. The draft is like a crapshoot, George. You don't know until the last second what's going to happen.
And I got another question. Do you think we should trade the 6th round for, because Miami wanted to give us a 2nd round to go down?
I think they should. I think they should do that.
That wouldn't be bad.
They're talking about Miami doing that. I don't know whether that'll happen. We'll have to wait and see what happens.
Yeah, but you think that'd be good, Pat?
I do.
I think so.
You won't be able to get Milner.
And you know what? He wants to come here. That's a good thing.
There'll be dealings.
He might be gone. He might be gone before 6.
Or they may wheel and deal. Who knows? I'd love to have him.
From what my draft book said, we're getting 2 corners. One from Nevada and one from Duke.
Well, that's his idea. That's his opinion. So.
Yeah. So you would think that going down would be a good idea.
I do.
Mm-hmm.
Get more picks. You know.
Can't have enough draft picks.
Yeah.
And so you think we can get somebody good out of those?
Oh, sure. If they do their homework.
Yeah.
And then they say we might give them the Miami said they might give them the 2nd round because they don't have one in the 2nd.
We'll see.
Yeah, but okay, I'll let you know.
Okay, George.
Thanks, George. Bye-bye. Have a good weekend. All right, we'll take a quick break and we'll be back with Kathy Pape right after this.
What does an antihistamine do?
What do you recommend for itchy eyes? Can I drive after taking this?
At Good Neighbor Pharmacy, we can answer all of your allergy questions and help you find the best products for your symptoms. Stop in today and let us take care of you. Get to know your neighbor at goodneighborpharmacy.com/allergies.
See the pharmacists at Gertis Pharmacy in downtown Conneaut, your prescription specialists since 1960.
Say hello to HSN. Everything you love and more. Fast, easy, and social. Here, there, everywhere. Shop, love, play, share. And all your faves are right there. In a word, fun. Say hello to HSN. It's fun here.
Welcome back. Joining us this morning is our newest co-hostess of the show, is Kathy Pape.
Hello.
Hello, Kat.
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good. Thanks for coming in.
Oh, thanks for having me.
How did it go with Les Roberts the other day?
I had the best day ever. You know, and it was like 3/4 of the way through the day. You know, I'm driving and I'm blah, 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 blah. He turns and he looks at me. He goes, you know, I got to tell a story. He goes, when I first did this, you know, he had a bad experience asking someone, you know, many years ago from a library, asked this librarian to, you know, show him whatever. He said, I knew right when I got in the car that that was a bad idea. He said, it was a horrible time. And he goes, when I set this up with you, I thought, what am I doing? You know what I mean? Here we go again.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we had the best time. He goes, I was so wrong. I was so wrong. You know, just good time.
Of course, Les Roberts, the author out of Cleveland, nationally known author here on the show, and Kathy set that up for him to come in, and he did a tremendous job. He is amazing. He's like 77, 78 years old, but he's very curious, and he gets excited about new things and meeting new people. He wants to meet people.
Oh, right. And you know, everything becomes something in one of his novels. You know what I mean? He is always researching. He's always thinking. His wheels are turning. And he did have his tape recorder. So like all day long, you know, he's taping me. And then he would think of something and he would, you know, say something to remind himself of what he was seeing or something he wanted to add in a book. Yeah.
Where did you take him? All over the country?
That was my question, because I have a follow-up to see if he's got interest in a book in this area. Where'd you take him? The bridges and all that stuff?
Well, no. He, I took him to, I had made a little tour on a piece of paper, and I said, holler if you want to see anything else, but this is what we're doing. We stopped at the prison.
Did you?
And, you know, just drove.
You left him off.
I dropped him off, and that was that. No, and, you know, so he didn't know we had one. I informed him of, you know, the history and kind of where we are now and you know, bringing up some of those things, and just kind of drove around the parking lot while he looked at it, and I talked, you know. And then we left there, and we went down to the port of Conneaut, and down by the marina, and all through there.
You took him over there.
And then we went up the hill to Penny's, and had a nice visit with Penny, and then, you know, through that neighborhood, through township, through downtown, you know, all of that, all the while talking, pointing out different things. And then we made our way through the back way to Kingsville, you know, through by Tinker's Hollow, through some of the country streets, you know.
Is Tinker's Hollow open now?
You can't drive over that bridge, no.
Did you tell him the whole story?
Yes, I did. So, you know,
There's a book right there.
Yeah, absolutely. So he's like, you are giving me so much, you have no idea, you know.
Count on that.
Yeah. So then we went to Kingsville and Town Square, you know, and then we picked up my friend Mariana Branch, and then we all went to lunch at Cover Bridge.
Okay.
After that, Martha Sorhan met us there. She had met Les before when we were, you know, when we met for the first time. So
Did you buy lunch?
I bought lunch.
Oh.
Pat, you always ask who buys. He has this obsession with who buys.
So then we had a lovely lunch. He's a vegan.
Really?
He's a vegan. So you know when when we were setting this up through email and everything, and he said, you know, you pick the lunch, but keep in mind, I'm vegan. I was like, really?
So he eats no meat.
No, nothing that comes from an animal.
Oh, really?
Okay, cheese, dairy, everything you made with an egg, no. Okay?
Really?
Oh, yeah. So I'm like, no.
So like, what did he eat?
He got a veggie sub. Because I thought, well, you know, he can get a salad at Cover Bridge. Like, where do you take them? Like, you know, and I thought, there isn't a good place for him and his diet needs, so let's take him to the bridge. Because, you know, people like that from out of town, you know. So, and he did. He thought that was cool. So we left there, and this wasn't originally on our schedule, but he said, you know, I think I want to go to Bridge Street in Ashtabula, because I had mentioned a couple of different things. And so I said, absolutely. So then we went to Ashtabula.
Which is fascinating, Bridge Street.
Yeah. So I told him a little bit of the, you know, history as far as that goes, and pointed out some different things, and then a little bit of that neighborhood through there, and then just kind of swung back up and came back home, Lake Road.
All day long then?
Yeah, it was all day long.
No
And then took him to my library. And,
of course. You know, this guy got up at 4 o'clock in the morning to get you here on time.
Yeah, he's from Solon. That's where he lives, in a condo.
Stowe.
Stowe.
Yeah, so,
yeah.
You know, but it was, and then we've been emailing, because I said, you know, if something else comes up and you think of something, you know, and so he's like, oh, you know, blah, 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 blah. And, you know, he said not his next book, because he already has one ready to come out and one almost finished. But the book after that, he's got 2 books in the work. One for the same series he's writing, and there is going to be a reason why his PI comes to Ashtabula County.
Yeah, he said he's got this story where Milan Jakovich and his assistant come to a small town. He said, I think I'm going to use Conneaut for that basis.
Well, and he's going, because there's going to be some murders that happen, and our local police are going to need help solving this mystery. And so they're going to call the Cleveland office, and they're going to send a police officer detective, which is his girlfriend. And so they're going to come, and he's going to be mentioning, and you know, just a little bit of, you know, when you read his books, I mean, it's just jam-packed with references and visuals and of real things, you know.
And he throws a murder in.
And then, you know, and people, he changes names and stuff, but you know, he takes a bunch of different people and he says, okay, and throws these, you know, makes this character or whatever. So anyway, there's going to be a murder that happens, but he won't use like Conneaut or Kingsville, or, you know, because he doesn't want to offend anybody.
Right.
He'll make up a town, but they're going to come here, eat here, stay here, be interacting with people here and solving this crime.
I did one of your things, Steve. I told him he could use my name in his next book, and he goes, "You'd be surprised. Some people like that." He goes, "Maybe that'll happen. You never know." Yeah.
But he would let you know. If he's doing. You've given him so much material about a book.
Oh my gosh, he is just And I mean, I was just like blah 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 blah. You know, the whole time we're driving, and he was like, "Really?" And then I had my own little personal crisis going on. You know, he's like, irony. But anyway, that's.
He didn't tell me the story, and I didn't ask about it. It was in the paper. Kathy and I were at a break, and he goes, he loves westerns. And he loves John Wayne, and he goes, as a matter of fact, I got drunk with John Wayne one time, and I can't really tell you the whole story. I have no clue what happened, but it was
a funny story.
It would probably be hilarious. But my ex-boss lived next door to John Wayne in Arizona, and they played poker and drank together every evening, basically out there.
Just a regular guy, John Wayne.
Yeah, John Wayne. He said he didn't care for actors. He liked the regular guy type thing. But Les knew all the celebrities. He wrote a show for Andy Griffith, and he went on the sets just so he could meet Andy Griffith. He goes, he was a tremendous guy. Yeah. A tremendous guy. And he knew Elizabeth Taylor and Judy Garland. He knew all these because he was in Hollywood in those in the
He's
heyday.
so low key. And
You never know.
You never know who's.
Yeah, and he's still connected. I mean, he's lived, you know, West Coast, Chicago, obviously here, you know, in Cleveland, Northeast Ohio, and you know, has stayed connected with all of that. And he's sharp and just really on the ball and always very interesting to talk to.
Did you read his books before you met him?
I'm not a mystery reader. I'm more of a nonfiction biography kind of gal, but I did because you know, clearly I can't get this guy in my car and drive him all day and not know, you know. So I did. I read his last book, Whiskey Island, that he's coming here to promote on April 21st, and then also kind of just did an overall skimming of some of his other works. So
Did you see that nice article Martha wrote about him?
Yeah,
that was
nice. Very well done. It was basically the same interview that he did with us. A lot of the same stuff was touched on, but yeah, I was impressed. I mean,
But how did you arrange this? I mean, how did you get to know him?
They met at another event.
Oh, you met him in another.
Yes.
Oh, I see.
And it was really funny because I don't know if you and I talked about it or whatever, and you're like, oh, ask him to come on the show, and so I sent him an email, and you know, and I start like, hi, you know, maybe you don't remember me, you know, I'm Kathy Pape, and you know, we met, blah 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 blah. Could you? And he emails me back right away, and he's like, of course I remember you. He's like, yes, you know, and so we set it up from there. But you know, but I thought, like, how could he do that? You know what I mean? And because he does. He's a mover and a shaker.
Kind of impressed me as having a lot of things to do in his life. Like he goes, I don't count on staying home watching a silly television show. I mean, he goes out and does signings. He does things to get out and meet people, and he's always on the go. For his age, that's pretty.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's his life. You know, writing about people and characters. And
yeah,
like
he said, I look at people and I write down or records them and pick up what they, you know, how they act and stuff, and he uses that in his stories. His line really was, I write about different things and then I throw a murder into it. So that's his formula, and he doesn't believe in writing. What's he call it, Kathy? The outline.
Oh right, yeah.
He just believes, why waste 60 pages on that when you can be writing the story? Yeah. And he's a fascinating.
Yeah. And that whole interview was so good, Pat. It really, really was.
You know, he paid me a compliment on that interview, and it made me feel good to have a guy that's been he was a journalism major in school, to tell you that after all these years, something like that's like having a little badge put on you when you have a guy like Les.
But it was a good interview.
It was.
And Patty is a good interviewer. And I'm not just saying this, but he's one of the best. He's got his faults, of course, but he is a good interviewer. And I watched the whole thing. It was well done and great questions. And he was just so laid back and nonchalantly talked about his writings and the people he knows. I loved him.
He wasn't full of himself.
No, he certainly wasn't.
Well, if you'd like to meet him, anybody, everybody.
Tell us about it.
Yeah.
April 21st at the Red Eagle Distillery in Harpersfield. He will be there from 2 o'clock until 5 o'clock. And he will do a talk about his book, Whiskey Island, and then take question and answer. And then you can purchase a book if you wish, or at least have some time to talk with him, go through the line, what have you. And we would really love to have everyone show up for that. If you want to go, though, just all you have to do is call your local library. Every library in Ashtabula County, we all came together to bring this event. And so we're really looking forward to it because it's fun to do something all together that's rare, that, we do something like that. And then to have something this cool because he is such an interesting guy. Murder mystery books, like I said, it's not my genre, but people love them.
Sure, I do.
And hello, our first distillery. I mean, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, we had a good week this week because we had the distillery people on.
That was interesting too.
That was very interesting.
That guy was just so knowledgeable about this.
Mariana Branch, is your friend? You guys are friends. Did you know her from before?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
She's not from around here originally.
No, but she married somebody that I went to school with.
Really?
Oh, right. Yeah. So they met in college, and then moved back to this area.
Yeah, I ran into her at Dollar General, and we were kind of goofing around and laughing and stuff. And Michelle goes, "That girl looks familiar, but who was that?" And I go, I call her Mariana. It's Mariana Branch, the librarian from Kingsville, who took your job, right? Yeah. Originally, Kathy was at Kingsville. But that was a fun day the other day when you brought him in.
But I have a hunch, Kathy, especially since I can just imagine your trip with him, taking him all over, and he was taping us. I imagine he's going to be back. I think he wants to be back, doesn't he?
Oh yeah, almost definitely.
He'll be back here.
I invited him when he was leaving. I said, "Come back when your new book comes out in June." And I bet he will. I mean, he'll take the time.
Well, and of course, it's always a great opportunity when you can, promote our D-Day reenactment,
right.
And you can talk about how it looks here in the summer and talk about people that come into town and all the cottages and, the movies and the different concerts going on at the Arts Center. There's a lot to see when the weather turns, and so I wanted to make sure that he came back.
I'd like him to see this area in the summertime when it's nice out and spend the day here.
Because it was foggy. I'm like, okay, the lighthouse is right there.
That's what Penny said. Penny goes, it goes right with his books. The fog and the rain.
You like that?
Oh yeah.
What's with this?
Well, okay. I had to bring, because it's a special occasion.
Yes.
These are my favorite candy bars in the world, and you can't get them here. They are only sold in Canada.
Really?
Yes, and they're called Coffee Crisp.
Thank you.
And so that is for everyone today to partake.
Makes a nice light snack, and then it's something in French.
Well, because it's Canada.
Yeah. You don't have to bite my hand.
I wonder why It's getting real snippy. she needs Les Roberts, and now she's a big star.
Well, yes, I had to just lower myself to have the show today.
Yeah. Why are they Canada?
I don't know,
why
but
not
there are products in Canada that you just can't get here. And a long time ago, I don't know, several years ago, I tried one for the first time, and I was like, oh my gosh, I love you little fella. Like, what's going on there? And I only had like 2 or 3 I bought at, a store. And, like a regular sized candy bar. And then I looked for them everywhere. I'm searching the internet, and I'm like, that's the only place I can get them. So now when I go,
I don't think I've ever heard of them.
Of course you have.
I think you have.
I brought them.
Yeah, you have before. Yeah.
But the whole thing is, it's like I go and I will buy whatever the special is, like maybe it's a full-size bar, maybe it's a bag, whatever. I'll buy like a gazillion of them and put them in the trunk, across the border.
Well, I have to tell you this, Kathy. People are still talking about the time, was it the Christmas show, when you had that cookie or something? You were eating the cookie on air, and
I know.
People said, I can't believe she ate that whole thing, and she was
It was only a little cookie.
It was a little cookie.
I know, and I go, oh, it was just a little cookie.
It was, wasn't it? It was like this big.
It was good.
It was good. It was a sugar cookie. Chris brought those in.
Yes.
Was it Chris?
Yes.
I don't remember. I remember her eating it though.
I can't believe
It made an impression.
It made an impression. Wow, folks, you're in for a treat
Well, how about
today.
this? You know, the other day, Brenda Cobb, who's a guest on our show on every other Tuesday, said that the most asked question she gets about this show is if Pat Williams really wears jogging pants.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Why would they? Well, you do.
Well, you were here, weren't you, Kathy?
Yeah, I was here.
Or any pants at all.
Right.
Well, usually in summertime it's shorts, but it's like, why would so? Well, then Michelle even said, and I think Kathy kind of summed it up too. Well, people see you, they come on, they might tell somebody that, hey, by the way, he's wearing a suit and he's got jogging pants on underneath. You know,
that's what.
But I would assume that. You know what I mean? People just think, you know, you're comfy and what. Yeah. I think it's a fair question, folks. Oh, excuse me, everyone.
Oh no.
No.
Yes, but he does wear pants.
I went to dinner. I went to
And
dinner
slippers.
a few weeks ago with Chris Naylor, and the entire dinner, she's got that thing.
Oh, the phone.
And it's constantly answering texts and stuff. I go, will you put it away? You're driving me crazy.
Did you find that annoying?
Yes.
I do.
My son does it.
If we're at
Everybody
a
does.
dinner or something, you know, a function, you know, put it away.
Listen, I was
You
watching.
can't put it away for 2 hours. I'm not saying you.
No.
but
I won't, but that's okay. No, but
put it away, please.
I was watching a news interview just yesterday, and the reporter is on the air talking about something, and she has her phone, and this is what, you know, she was probably using it for work. I mean, people do,
Sure.
but like she's giving her spiel, and she had her phone in her hand the whole time, and then she's like, just it was there, you know, it's there.
Who was that? Who was?
Who was out of town?
Oh.
It was an out of town news source.
Good morning, Pat, Steve, and Kathy. Happy 5th anniversary. I enjoyed watching your show over the last 5 years. And then she sent me a picture of her sons, Kyle and Carl, which I believe they're twins.
The Clancy's.
Yeah, the Clancy boys. And when they were on AM Live, and I think Chuck interviewed them when we were upstairs. So that's how long ago that was.
Basketball, yeah.
And that was for the 2008 soccer season, the first year that we went into the business here. And Kyle was the Asheville County Player of the Year. Kyle and Carl were both on the first team All-County and first team All-Conference. Thanks again for all you do for Connie on AM Live. Have a great day. Sherry Gerdo Clancy. Yeah.
Thanks,
Sherry. Appreciate it. Yeah, the thing, and I mentioned this the other day, Kathy came to me, what's it been, about 6 months? Or not that long?
I don't know. I don't know what you're going to say, so I don't know what the
2 or
reference
3
is.
months ago, you came to me and said, look, you know, I can come on the show and help you out as a co-hostess. Jumped on in a minute, and she's come in, gosh, the last several weeks, every week, basically once a week, and is filled in. And I tell you, it really helps out. You can't do this by yourself every day. There's no way. You got to have somebody to communicate
because sometimes
with.
it's
very difficult. It's hard
Yeah.
to do it alone.
Sometimes there's a lot of things going on, and then sometimes there's not. And that is difficult when you're like hunkered down in front of the camera for that long.
Well, and it's easy and makes for a better show, especially if the co-host or co-hostess, if there's a rapport with you, which we have. You know,
Well,
that
with
makes a lot
Kathy,
fun.
we talk about everything under
Sure.
the sun. But,
That's-
you know, we have a
that's-
lot of things that, and then we have guests, too, that she has participated in, too, and that helps.
And of course, Kathy's not afraid to talk.
No.
Or chip in, or ask a question, or comment. No offense.
Which is good,
That's
right?
That's
Is
good.
it a good thing? Okay.
To a point.
You know, you went last
It's
week
good.
to Canada.
Yes.
And saw Rick Springfield.
Oh, you saw Rick?
Yes.
And you said he still has it.
Yeah.
I saw him on the Jeff Probst show, and he doesn't look like his age.
Oh my gosh, it was a great show. It was completely sold out, and it was just such a good show. You know, I love going to concerts. That's kind of my deal. But I like it when they like to be there, you know, and that they're prepared, and that there's, you know, they're talking with the audience, and we're happy, they're here, and you know, that makes for a great show.
Sure.
So yeah,
He's what, 660?
Gotta be.
He's probably close, if not. He's been around for 30 years.
He looks
You got a
great.
favorite concert of all time?
Oh gosh, that's tough. Well, you know what? I'm
Top 3.
top 3.
Make it easier.
That's really hard. That's
Really?
really hard. You know what? Because Because as a person, you know, you grow and you get older by the second. You know, you are into different music at different times. You know, I've seen some great shows. I saw Metallica several times. Great concerts.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you
Great.
like them all. That's heavy metal.
Oh, yeah.
obviously.
I mean, I've seen Olivia Newton-John. I've seen Sting. You know, I've seen big acts, small acts, people that were small that turned
Barry Manilow?
huge. Yes.
You've seen
Neil Diamond. Everybody, my daughter, you know, that's something that we do together. We go to concerts.
Okay.
You know, I've seen Kesha, you know, I mean, it's
Do you
just.
collect the stubs? Do you keep all the stubs from all your shows?
I do. But I was at the original Lollapalooza in 1991.
The original.
And so actually I'm going back to Chicago this summer because Lollapalooza it's now in Chicago every year at Grant Park. And so I'm going in August to 3-day concert.
Listen to this far-fetched story. This is really out there, and I don't want to call her a liar, but it's not right. Michelle, many years ago, went to Canada with a guy that she worked with at the Star Beacon, and she said she went into this beautiful, luxurious restaurant. Was having a beautiful dinner, and the entertainment for the night. This couldn't be true. I'm sorry. I think she was hallucinating.
No, don't preface that. Let us
we'll
make our own
We'll be the
decision.
judge.
We'll be the
The
judge.
entertainment of the evening was Barbara Streisand.
No way.
No way.
No way.
She's not going to play a restaurant.
No.
And I go, are you sure
And
it
if she
wasn't?
does, you can't afford it.
Yeah. Are you sure it wasn't maybe a look-alike? This is Barbara Streisand. I'm sure it was Barbara Streisand. I go, I don't know if it was or not, but it's hard to believe because she only did large venues.
She wouldn't do a restaurant.
No.
Shot her down pretty good. Anyway, all three.
No offense,
No,
Michelle,
I'm sorry,
but is it
no.
possible you were intoxicated
Yeah.
and thought it was Barbara Streisand?
That's a good performer that really lets you think that, though.
Now, do you like Barbara Streisand?
Oh, I
Would you-
love Barbara
you would
Streisand.
go to a-
I would, and I like musicals. I love show tunes.
Did you see Les Miserables?
Yeah.
Did you like it?
I loved it.
Really?
You know what I watched last night?
Did you see the play?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I've seen the play. I've seen the movie. I love Wicked. I think that's fabulous. I was watching Les Mis from 1952.
Yeah, I saw that with Michael Rennie.
I watched it last night.
Was it any good?
I loved it.
Really?
Yeah, except for when my daughter came home and was like, "Oh, I'm watching this. Turn the channel. Can I turn it now?"
That's a great story, but I don't think I can watch guys singing the entire show.
No, they didn't sing. It was just.
No, not in that one.
okay.
But
I like Les Mis. I haven't had the opportunity to see the play. I would love to see the play, and I was
Did
really.
you see the movie?
I just couldn't do it. I couldn't take the sing.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. We could sing this all right now, and you would be fine. You know, I won't do it.
Oh, it's not the music. You know, the music's great. It's just I don't know if I could watch a movie.
Yes, you could.
They
You
sing,
think so?
they sing
Yes.
hello. They
Yes.
sing, they sing hi.
Listen. It's an experience. You need to see it on the big screen.
Right.
Because you know it's layered and it's so rich and it's so visually pleasing that it'll pick you up and carry you right through the movie.
Really?
You'll love it.
The other thing that you did, you went to the movie, which happened to be the biggest grossing movie of the last weekend, Evil Dead remake.
You saw that?
Yes.
I saw it.
Did you? What'd you think?
Okay, now when I see my daughter loves scary movies, I did go with her. I was killing time, so I said, I kind of laugh through these things
yes.
when the heads
Right.
come off and the
Yeah,
arms, and I start laughing. I'm the only one laughing, and I start laughing. But you know, it was. Did you see the original?
Yes.
Evil Dead?
Oh, like a trillion
Okay,
times.
19
Bruce Campbell is like going to be my next husband.
Yeah. I kind of thought it was okay. It was,
You know, but it was funny, and I think it was supposed to be funny. So you were getting it, and maybe everybody else, because we saw it at a packed theater. Okay, completely sold out. It ran the night before in Canada for some reason. Odd. That's another reason why Canada's fabulous.
No, were
But,
people laughing or
yes.
screaming? Or
Why were they laughing?
Because it was
so ridiculous.
It's ridiculous and it's layered with humor. You know what I mean?
It
was
is.
the characters spoken away.
I heard it was really graphic.
Very much.
Oh, of course it was.
Very
But it was
much.
so graphic, it was funny.
But Bruce
Yes.
Campbell's not in this one.
No, I thought he would be in it.
I thought
he
maybe
would
do a
be in
cameo or
it.
something.
No, but it was great. I liked the little twist at the end. I wish it would have been a little more.
Don't tell her.
A little more. No, a little pay more homage to the whole you know, because it set the benchmark for like not possession, but like that zombie, that taken over type of thing, and how you would behave and what that spirit inside you would do. And I wish it would have done a little more of that and gotten away from the typical chainsaw.
Right. I agree. I agree.
Most
That's well
of
put.
those, it's in a cabin, right?
Oh yeah.
Most of those cabin shows, they get a little monotonous after a while. But
I was very curious after I saw it. I said, I kind of enjoyed it. I laughed through it. I got the humor and all that stuff. Saw the original, and I thought, I wonder how it's going to do at the box office. And
26 million.
Did big. Did
big.
Yeah. Hey, got some emails here I got to read real quick. Hey, Pat, regarding the cell phone issue you guys were talking about, when a few of my friends go to dinner, everyone puts their cell phone in the middle of the table, and if anyone answers it or texts, they pay for everybody's meal.
Oh, that's a great idea. That is a great idea.
That is.
That's a really good
That is a very, who sent that in?
I think it's Jody. I think it was Jody.
Jody, that's great.
Oh, I love it. I think it's great.
That is a great idea.
She also says, I feel there might be a domestic after those last remarks.
Probably.
Oh, definitely.
She doesn't really. She didn't know who Robert Redford was when I first started dating her. She wasn't sure the difference between Paul Newman and Robert Redford.
Oh, wow.
Sheltered
And you
life.
married her anyway.
Yeah, right. Well, actually, it made me want to marry her because what do I have?
I appreciate you like all types of music. I suspect you like all kinds of movies too. Did you ever see American Graffiti?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I just did.
It was on last night on one of the.
All in one day.
I had to watch it. The entire thing. I loved it.
Yes.
A lot of good stars
loved
in there,
it.
too.
Oh, jam-packed.
Richard Dreyfuss and
Cindy Williams.
Yes, Cindy Williams. Harrison Ford.
Harrison
They
Ford,
had a reunion a couple of years. It's 40 years old.
Yeah.
This was made in 1973. It's 40 years old. I go, 40 years old.
Yeah.
Seems like they had a reunion a few years ago. Maybe it was the 30th or whatever. Harrison Ford, and they tried to contact all the original actors in there. Harrison Ford was the first, and he was a big star then.
No, he wasn't then.
No, not. I mean now.
Oh.
Right.
When they contacted him, he was a big star. He was the first to say yes. I loved it.
That was his breakthrough.
George Lucas and a bunch of them came back. Ronnie Howard, and they had a good time. But loved that movie. The music.
I
and
just
everything.
happened to see that a
Last
couple
night.
of months ago, and I'd never seen it before. And I remember,
Really?
I
Wow.
remember a buddy of mine back in '73 saying, "You got to go see
Oh,
this
yes.
movie called American Graffiti."
That's great.
I never listened, and finally,
And there's
40 years
I
later.
think it's Ventura, California. One of the, I think it's Ventura, where it was actually taken. George Lucas, as a kid, actually did drive down the streets and do cruising and stuff. It's an actual area. I think it was filmed partly on that area.
Wasn't it Paul LeMay was the one character that who's like 70 years old now, but he was like 30, but playing a teenager.
Right.
They all do. Drives you nuts.
Yeah.
when you see
Ronnie
it,
Howard,
you know?
Cindy Williams,
Oh,
Harrison
yeah.
Ford, Suzanne Summers.
Suzanne
was,
Summers. Happy 5th anniversary with AM Live. Keep up the good work. 80 degrees here in Florida. It's 7 a.m. Must be nice.
Yeah.
It's not 70 degrees here for sure.
Not yet.
Hi, you're on the air.
Yeah, I think about every woman in town is glad their husbands don't have their own talk show. Anyway.
Gene, that's funny.
Hey, Gene.
Anyway, several years ago, Oprah had a show on with relatives of stars, like brothers and sisters. And Barbara Streisand's sister was on there. She looked just like Barbara, and she sounded just like Barbara.
Yeah, I can't think of her name.
Exactly.
I can't
And
think of her name.
so, by the luck of the draw, Barbara's a star, and the sister is really nobody. So I don't know if she goes around and sings in restaurants or not.
Maybe it was her.
That's who Michelle saw.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But it's possible.
yeah, that could be.
Very well could be.
Okay.
Thanks,
Very
Gene.
funny.
Bye-bye.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. That's very
Yeah, and I
funny.
can't think. Her name isn't Streisand, but it's you know who I'm.
Yes.
The sister.
Yes.
All right, we got to take a break. Can you stick around a few more minutes?
Yes, I can.
Okay, we'll be right back, and right after this.
At University Hospitals Conneaut Medical Center and Geneva Medical Center, we live our mission every day. You can see it in the life-saving work of our doctors and nurses. You can hear it in the helpful, comforting words of our staff. And you can feel it every time you walk through our doors. At University Hospitals, our mission is you.
You sure you don't don't want some? It's chamomile. Listen, you are extremely terrifying. Just the scariest undead subhuman thing on TV, and I really mean that. But I am worried that you could give my kids nightmares if they see you, so I'm gonna have to block you. So that's it. Oh, and tell the zombies they're blocked too.
All right, we're back with Kathy Pape and Steve Grant on our 5th anniversary Friday here. And I want to remind everybody, don't forget, 10 o'clock, Bill Shannon Show on 1360 WOW on your AM radio dial. Bill will be giving updates on the weather. I understand it was raining pretty hard.
It's a torrential downpour right now.
Is it really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Flooding is not.
We're under a flood watch.
Yeah, and we're kind of lucky in Conneaut most of the time with flood, but some areas really.
Stay away from the creek, folks, because this kind of rain is not good.
Exactly.
It's very dangerous this time of year. Hi, you're on the air.
Good morning.
Hi, Linda.
Congratulations on your 5 years.
Thank you.
Nice job.
Thank you.
Yeah, yesterday I went to Madison and Geneva on the lake and everything up around in that area. Went to a lot of different places. And I happened to come back through and I had to get gas, so I stopped in Saybrook and I was hungry, so I thought, well, I'll go to McDonald's. So I walks in there, and who's in there but...
Barbara Streisand.
Yeah, don't you kids. Tom Smiles' wife, Marcia.
Oh, yeah, Marcia, she works in there.
So I talked to her a little bit and everything.
Nice girl.
She's very nice.
Yeah, she works up in Madison now.
No.
I'm not Madison, but I mean Saybrook.
Okay.
At McDonald's. So, but I just wanted to call and wish you a happy anniversary for your 5 years, and keep it going.
Thanks, Linda.
Job well done.
Have a nice weekend.
I know everybody enjoys it every day, so keep it up.
Thank you, hon.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All have a nice day.
You too, Linda.
Bye.
The sister of Barbara Streisand is Rosalind Kind.
Okay.
That's who that is. Marie Workman, who won the baseball tickets for the Indians game yesterday.
Good
Mr.
luck.
Pat. She always calls me Mr. Pat.
Mr. Pat.
Congratulations
Mr. Paul.
on 5 years. My day starts with coffee in your show. Thanks for being there. From Marie Workman. Thank you. And then Fred sent this in. Good morning, Pat. Turned TV on around 8 this morning as you were all talking about some author. At 8:15, the man still was not identified by you or your guest there. The guy sounded interesting. Would like to know who it is. Can you mention his name? Thanks, Fred. But of course, his name. We mentioned his name. You must have missed it. His name is Les Roberts. He is a mystery. Would you call him?
Mystery writer.
Mystery writer out of Cleveland that we had here live on the show. Thanks to Kathy and great guy. And we will be running a replay of that next week of Les. So we'll do that next week. Hi, you're on the air.
Hello, Pat. How are you?
Good, Mark. How are you?
Good, not too bad. I just want to say congratulations on 5 years.
Thank you.
And I hope 5 more years, and you're doing a great job, Pat.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it.
Have a good day.
You too, Mark.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. There's a good guy, Mark Ward. I know he's a big fan of the library.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
He always goes to the library and utilizes it.
I think he was over there when Les and I got back and we were doing
He was looking for you that day. And I said, you won't probably get her today because she's got a busy agenda.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
So
I did.
He had some question to ask you or something.
Oh, I'm sure my staff could help him out.
I'm sure they could.
I'm sure.
During the break, we were talking about we were talking about movies earlier, scary movies, and one of the ones we were talking about was The Exorcist, that's got to be 40 years old.
Yes, 73. I think it did come out in 73.
Was it 73?
Mm-hmm. Boy, that's right. That's 40 years. Wow.
Yeah,
that was one scary movie without the blood and the gore, and it was based on a true story, as everybody should know. That was scary.
I did not know that was based on a true story.
Vaguely. I mean, they didn't follow they took a lot of
liberties
with the movie, but it was based on a true story of an exorcism.
I remember we went to Erie to see that movie, and we went with the Roger Deal and his wife. I don't know if they were married yet. I think they were. Gail, who I worked with, Gail Deal at the News Herald, and Gail cried through the middle of that movie because she was so scared. I mean, it was and people were walking out. People were getting sick.
And some people just found it was just, offensive and just too much. They didn't realize what they were in for when they went.
You said they showed it the other night, or somebody said they showed it. I think Rick Chase said they showed it the other night. They had to cut it.
Oh, sure.
There was a lot of swearing.
I remember seeing it with a bunch of fellas, and I think at the beginning aren't they excavating?
Yeah, they're in Egypt or
an anthropological excavating thing, and they were talking. Were they talking in Greek, maybe, or Arabic or something?
Arabic.
Yeah. And I don't think they translated it on the screen, so we kind of just made up what they were saying, and trying to be wise. And we're going, oh yeah, he's saying this, and we have to get back to the States or something. And 10 people were, what's he say again?
Oh gosh.
What's he say again?
They believed it.
Yeah, they believed it. And we would,
that's pretty funny.
of course, I was the one that was doing it, and I said, well, he's saying this and that, and people were, my buddy was going, really? Yeah. And then if there was any Italian in there was some Italian in there too, and of course I translated that too and made up some stuff. But it was a scary movie. It was weird.
Linda Blair, who's in her mid-50s now.
Yes,
she was
yes, she is.
Probably 13 years old then, or 12.
She's nominated for an Academy Award for that movie.
Was she nominated for that?
Yes, she was.
Yeah. Who was the lady? Was it Ellen Burstyn?
Ellen Burstyn, yes.
Who's like close to 80 now. I mean, it's hard to believe. You go back 40 years, that's a long time. And you forget how old these people are today, if they're still alive. But
and the guy who played the priest, Jason Miller, is it Jason?
Who is an author?
He's now a writer.
He's dead.
More of a writer. Yeah, he was more of a writer, director.
In Max
Van Sydow.
Van Sydow, who played Jesus.
He played The Exorcist. He did a great job in that.
He played Jesus in Greatest Story Ever Told, or one of those movies. Yeah, he's still living, I think.
And is well into his 80s.
Or 90s.
Excellent actor. They had sequels. There's Exorcist 2, 3, 4, which were terrible.
Yeah.
And I didn't even want to watch them. But Exorcist 1, it was a great movie. Well done, but very scary. Very scary.
So what's the one show, like, if you're sitting at home and you can't flick by it, if you see it, you watch it, you say, oh my gosh, and you watch
French Connection.
Yours is the French Connection? What's yours?
What do you mean? I mean,
like, if you don't really mean to be watching TV right now, but you're flicking through the channels, you run across that movie and you watch it. It doesn't matter if it started in beginning, middle, or end. You can't help yourself.
I do that constantly with The Magnificent Seven.
Really?
Western. It was on the other morning at 3:30 in the morning, and I woke up and I've seen it 5,000 times, and I still watch the gunfight at the end for some stupid reason. Because I went to the drive-in with my dad and mom.
Oh, it brings back memories.
It brings back memories 50-some years ago.
A Shawshank Girl.
I love that movie.
I was just,
really?
I am not just saying this. I was just about to say that's my second one. If I see the Shawshank Redemption,
that's hilarious.
I cannot. Are you serious?
Yes,
I cannot turn that off. I got to watch it. I love that movie.
I love
it. It's a good movie. Yeah.
Oh, it's very good.
Yeah.
Shawshank Redemption.
That's something I wanted to tell you guys, and I can't remember now what it was. Darn. I lost my train of thought.
That's all right. We're going to talk about Shawshank. Go ahead and you figure that out.
You're going to take this phone call. Hi, you're on the air. Okay. All right. Well, Kathy, I want to thank you so much for coming in.
Well, you are welcome. Congratulations.
Thank
5
you.
years.
Congratulations to you, because you're a part of it.
Yes, yes. Congratulations to all.
You have any new library lines coming up?
Yeah, we do. We took a little hiatus again because we were in the middle of a couple of different projects, and then Easter gets thrown in there, and everybody's got things they have to do. So we are coming back with a show. We'll start filming next week, so stay tuned. It's a very good show, and yes, we'll be back on schedule.
I watch it all the time. I watch that show.
Good.
Congratulations on your 5th. This is from Matt Crawford, and he says, I'd like you to announce that the Outdoor Learning Center trail cleanup that was scheduled for tomorrow has been canceled, probably because of the weather.
Yeah.
It's too wet.
Yeah.
If you have any questions, give Matt Crawford a call at 265-6098, 265-6098. So, okay, Matt, I don't blame you. It's just probably too muddy out there for that particular thing. Good morning, you're on the air.
Hey, good morning, Pat. Wanted to wish you a great job for 5 years. Your coworker here, how you doing?
Good, how you doing, Jeff?
Good. I was gonna say, just throw in a mix. If I'm flipping channels and Shawshank Redemption is on, I gotta stop and watch part of that movie. I love that movie.
Yeah, I agree with you.
All right.
I agree with you.
You guys like that one pretty much?
I love that movie.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
It's just got some classic scenes in it, and you can't beat Morgan Freeman's voice. Come on.
Indeed.
Hey, congratulations. Hope you have another 5 or 50 or whatever you want. But good
Thanks,
job, Pat.
thanks, Jimmy. Thank you very much, bud.
Thanks, Jim.
Bye-bye. Jim Coco, of course. We'll take a break. We'll be back with Tom Udell, the original co-host of the show,
Yes.
right after this.
3 generations of the Burdick family have owned and operated Burdick Plumbing and Heating since 1970. Gladly serving Ashtabula County and Northwest Pennsylvania, we specialize in geothermal, boiler, and whole house generator installations. Homeowners can save 50 to 70% on heating and cooling with geothermal systems, and tax credits are still available on high-efficiency installations. Call Burdick's at 599-8248 for a free estimate.
Hey, thanks for stopping by. You know, I followed your character since the first episode. I'm a big fan, big fan.
Thank you.
And listen, your storyline, it makes for incredible TV drama. Thing is, your drug use is very adult content. Too adult for the kids. So I'm gonna have to block you.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Well, have a good one.
You're a nice lady.
Okay, we're back with the original guest co-host of
The one, the only.
AM Live, Tom Udell. How you doing, Tommy?
I'm doing absolutely great. And I did have to stop over, Pat. You know, and it's really so hard to believe 5 years have gone by so quickly.
You know, where did time go?
It's unbelievable. I remember being upstairs and we're kind
Yeah.
of moving things around and yeah, in that little room up there, and it sounded like an echo every time we talked. And then we had that first week, which you kind of brought up a little bit. I don't know how much you talked about it this morning, but
I was a nervous wreck.
It was a struggle. Well, they didn't have the computer, no phone calls, nobody knew what was going on.
We tried to use the phone, but it didn't work or something. I don't know, phone didn't work.
And what was funny is, remember they had this big light when the phone rang. This light would go off, and it lasted for like one day, and it burned out, and we never used it again.
Yeah.
It was something else.
It was, but we made it. You know, that was a neat thing is that we went through a week.
Andy, do you have the footage of the that I brought in? I don't know if I brought it in on DVD of the before the first show that we did. Do you have that when we were upstairs setting up?
Setting up.
Yeah. Check this out. This, believe it or not, 5 years ago, and it was probably 40 pounds. I was like 40 pounds heavier than I am now.
Right.
But it's like Tom said, it's hard to believe all that time has moved past.
We're 5 years older.
5 years older.
Unfortunately, we
Yeah,
are.
yeah.
Exactly right. Well, you know, even as he's setting up, even the 3 years and 4 months or 3.5 months I've been on console.
Yeah.
I can't even believe
Where's it
that.
gone?
Yeah.
I cannot even believe that.
And I didn't realize that this council goes back to the 2-year term.
Yeah, I think there were 2 4-year terms, and then all of a sudden, we decided. Well, actually, the public
We didn't have to
decided.
vote on that. It just happens, right? I mean,
No, it was voted on.
Was
to go
it?
back, yeah.
To go back to 2?
Yeah, last November, and I think there were just two terms, or there were 4-year terms, I believe, and then went back to the 2, which is fine. You know, I mean, there's a few reasons why, and I don't want to tie that up, but few reasons is that, you know, I mean, somebody just may not like it. They don't want to resign or anything, but they'll do their 2 years. And the other thing, you know, perhaps they're not doing the job. Maybe it is an opportunity. If they're doing their job, they're going to get reelected if that's exactly what they want to do. If they're not doing their job, they're not going to be reelected in 2 years. And I hope that, you know, some of the people say, well, you spend a year campaigning. It's very unlikely. I don't think that's a big thing. Yeah, you want to get out and you know, attend all the functions that you will if you're going to run for an office and everything, but you don't spend a year.
So you're done the end of the year?
I'm done at the end of the year, yes, at December 31st. Do not regret it one bit. I've told you that over and over. I don't regret going up there, and I don't regret it being 4 years.
The reason Tom has not been on the show, we made a pact back then that for 2 reasons. Number one, it wouldn't be fair to him come on the show and co-host and take all kinds of city questions, because that's a whole different ball game. That's not what he's here to do. He's here to co-host and entertain and stuff. But the other reason is when you hold a position like that, it becomes a conflict of interest, and he knew that going in. He says, he goes, when I'm done though, I'll come back.
Yeah,
so it's been almost 4 years that he has not co-hosted here on the show.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Time flies.
Can we run that, Andy?
Was this the day before?
It was a Friday before.
Friday before.
Yeah.
Because it has a date on it of April 11th.
Yeah, that would be about right. Yeah.
The title screen.
We never
Anytime you want to go to title, just
This is a good tip. You know, I mean, like Friday, you guys normally.
There's a great shot.
Here is Steve Grant without his hat.
Directing, producing.
Now this is in a little room upstairs. There's the camera was here that day. I guess there's Jim Suplee. Joel was setting us up. These guys put this together like in 1 or 2 days. So April 11th, that'd be about right. So the 12th, 13th, 14th.
14th was the first day.
Yeah, that was the first day.
That was the camera, one camera.
One camera, now we got 3 here. We had a TV set behind us, as you can see, that we used as a backdrop type thing. That went out the road, down the road. Now we use it as a fireplace, actually, insert.
Didn't something burn up just before we started, and they had to jump through hoops and spend the night there repairing it? I don't
remember that.
I thought something just before we actually were going on air, something they had to spend a few hours up there replacing a piece of equipment.
I don't know. Now, what's kind of funny here, Shelley and Tom show up. out of nowhere. I didn't think it was just this. I guess you might have been just stopped in. I don't know.
Yeah, I think you were saying things were going on, like Regis and
Carrie,
Kathy, you know, seeing how things were going to be. Okay, here's where I want my seat. Here's where I want. Oh man, look at the gut on you.
We're not looking at you.
Oh, Telly looks the same back there.
Yeah, there's Shelley.
There's Shelley, and he can walk into the studio to check this thing out. Now this was the Friday before we actually debuted, and
Tom pointing at the monitor,
Yeah.
saying, "Hey, that's a
Say,
monitor.
what's that?
That's a TV." Yeah.
we had no clue what we were doing at that time. You know, okay, we'll be here Monday morning. We'll start at 7 and see how this thing goes. But,
Yep.
so you were 5 years younger there too.
5 years younger.
Yeah.
Don't look a day older, do I?
You look the same.
Pretty good for 5 years.
Well, I feel pretty good. That's the important.
That's the important part.
Yeah.
That's all that counts.
Yeah.
And of course now I think I fall down the steps when
Yeah, you fall down the steps.
I'm trying to record. I don't know why I'm recording all this.
Oh, you recorded everything.
Yeah, I had the camera there.
Yep.
Yeah,
there you go.
Long time ago.
Long time ago.
Long
5
time
years,
ago.
yeah.
5 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been fun.
Then I have to say this. I've said it many times before, but I got to say this. Right after we started that show, I got sick with arthritis of the knee or something. I had water on the knee or something. I couldn't walk. I was in a wheelchair. I had to call Tom in, and he would come in for me on short notice. I was embarrassed to do it. He would come in and cover for me those mornings. I think it was you and Mike Breeze.
Breeze came in, yep. Mike was more or less behind the scenes, and then him and I would sit. I didn't know any more about it than the man in the moon, but we survived, and Mike was a little more familiar with
I don't think we even got phone calls that first couple months.
No.
You know, we'd give away donuts or something to get people to
Well,
call
we
in.
centered, like you mentioned before off air to me, you centered entire shows around giveaways.
Yeah.
You come up with the idea, let's get a giveaway, maybe
Which
people
was
will call.
terrible. You had to, but we had to do that to get phone calls.
Yeah, it was terrible.
He gets people to watch.
And a lot of it became word of mouth because we did not advertise
Well,
it
you know,
over here.
coming from the radio over, you know, you had a nice following anyways, and you knew the people were going to follow, and it worked out really well. And then hooking back up with WWOW
Yeah, that was neat.
a couple of years ago.
With Bill, yeah.
Really, yeah, with Bill Shannon. That really worked
That's
out
where
as
Tom
well.
and I actually met when I was
Yep.
at WOW, and
Yep.
we're going back when you first come back to
Right,
town, which has got almost 10 years ago.
It is, absolutely. Yeah.
And that's Tom got a hold of me and was asking some questions and getting familiar with the community. And one of our first conversations regarded a mutual friend of ours, RJ Yesso.
RJ.
And you said you had footage of him on an 8mm
little
or
8mm thing, yeah, and I don't think that's ever been converted over to DVD yet. I don't know if anybody has a
Not anymore.
a 8mm that we could watch it, but yeah.
Called everybody boss.
You've called everybody boss.
Yep, boss.
Yeah.
What a character he was.
Late RJ,
Yeah, good buddy of mine.
Yeah, good guy. Him and my brother were actually.
How is your brother doing, Bill?
He's doing pretty good. You know, he had a little problem there. But he's went through his little surgery well, and he's recovering really well. Yeah, I talked to him not as much as I used to, and I think it's because I'm pretty busy, and I'm sure that he's busy himself. But once I get done with cons and everything, I'll have pretty much the time that I can go out and then I'll go down to Worcester and visit him.
Worcester, that's right. I was going to say
He used to stream us down there.
Yeah, he may still. I think he still does.
You know, it's kind of amazing. This is the first year in years that you will not be doing the July 4th festival.
It is. It is.
That's going to be a relief too.
It will be. Yeah, it will be. And I'm sure that what it needs, and perhaps we were there maybe a year too long because it needed new ideas, and we were pretty much following the same footsteps as we always did, and similar to who we took over after, and then it needs changes. And I understand reading in the paper and I haven't talked to Marty a heck of a lot, but just reading and hearing him call in and things, he's making some changes, which is good. That's what it needs. It needed a new, fresh look, and from what I'm seeing, that it'll be fine. I wish him the best. It's not the 4th of July festival certainly isn't for Udell or Shelley Bailey or Jim Tupper or anybody or Marty Land. It's for the city. It's for the community. It's for the people that want to come and enjoy it. And what we can do to provide entertainment for them and provide a good time is all that we ever tried to do.
Yeah.
And certainly.
And we had a good time.
Well, we did.
It was. Hi, you're on the air.
Hi, Pat. Happy anniversary. This
Thank
is Linda Morley.
Hi, Linda.
Hi. Hey, were you just talking about my brother, RJ?
Oh, I think.
RJ, yeah.
Yes.
Good buddy of ours.
Yeah, I know that. I just walked into the room as you guys were talking. Yes, I miss him every day.
Yeah, I miss him big time. We had a lot of fun together.
Yeah. But I just wanted to tell you happy anniversary.
Well, thanks, honey. I appreciate that. You have a great day.
Okay, you too.
Thanks, Linda.
Thanks.
Yeah, that would be RJ's sister.
Linda, yes.
Yeah, RJ, yes.
Yeah.
Gotta say this about Tom, and I'm not trying to embarrass you, but you know, Tom came back into town 10 years ago from California, and he just didn't sit around. He became active in the community, and he became a politician of sorts. He ran for council. He's done a fine job there. He ran the 4th of July festival. He helped Pat on the radio in here. And I can remember hearing your name on the radio. I says, who is that Tom Udell? I remember the Udell name from the grocery store.
Exactly.
And from baseball. I remember you.
Yeah.
Tom was older than us.
Yeah, a lot older.
And
but
he was a good baseball player. And then I got to know him, and I really give you a lot of credit for being involved in the community. Seriously.
Thank you very much. I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed coming back. You know, I was born and raised here.
That's right.
And
I actually revived community theater, I believe.
Hey, that too.
A lot of community theater. And also for the youngsters, bringing that program in to get youngsters involved.
Exactly.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun doing that, and you know, and Shelley and I really enjoyed it as much as the kids, and you know, it was so much fun. We started with like 7 kids, we lost 1, we had 6. The next year we had 15, then it went up to 20, and
keeps growing.
It does, and I touch on it. Now help me out with who took it over. But I can't remember, but I apologize because she's done a great job with the kids. And I know that's still going down there. The youth theater is.
You know, I know who you're talking about, and I can't remember the name either. I feel bad about that.
Help us, people.
Help us, yeah, we're getting old.
This from Chuck Hansen, of course, our insurance fellow that is on the show a lot here, hopefully once a month. Congratulations to you, all your co-hosts, and all the guys behind the scenes, including Andy, Tully, Matt. Your program has truly become an institution, and it just feels like it's always been part of the Conneaut daily life. Chuck Hansen. Thanks, Chuck. Appreciate that.
Yes.
And thanks for your support.
Right.
We can't thank you enough for
Chuck has been a supporter of a long time, hasn't he?
Sure has.
He has.
Both on radio and...
Yes.
And you know, he said something really nice here about a year ago. He said, you know, when you have local products here, similar to what we do here, or even his insurance agency, it's good to support locally. I mean, take care of your own.
Absolutely.
You know, don't be going out of town and all that sort of stuff. You just support local. We appreciate that.
Absolutely.
And, true. We can't thank Chuck enough. Hey, we got to take a real quick break. Can you stick around a few more minutes?
Yes, sir. Be glad to.
You can't golf today.
Can't golf today. It's going to get into that next.
All right. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Jerry Orlando, and welcome to Orlando Brothers Golden Dawn, a family-owned business for over 25 years. We know our customers, and we know what you like. The freshest produce, a meat department stocked with the finest cuts, an in-store bakery, and a mouth-watering deli.
On sale this week, 5-pound bags of Idaho or russet potatoes are $1.49 each. Bulk assorted apples are $1.59 a pound. Family packs of chicken drumsticks or thighs are 99 cents a pound. Fresh ground chuck is $2.49 a pound. And whole in the bag center cut boneless pork loins are $1.99 a pound. Stop by your local Orlando Brothers Golden Dawn today.
Make you smile just a thinking about a golden dawn day. About a golden dawn day.
Tom Udell on this Friday. Andy, do we have any other footage that we could run here? We got lots of stuff.
We don't want to run that one where I made the mistake and you.
Oh,
I want that.
We don't want to run that.
Thank you for bringing it. I was just about to bring that up. The fanny.
Yeah.
Tom
That
Udell
was
and the fanny.
hilarious.
It was.
And we couldn't stop laughing, and Tom got mad.
Tom got mad. He pouted a little bit, but he got over it. He got over it very quickly.
I'm glad you brought that up, Tom.
It was a classic. We've all done it.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna run yours.
Oh, I know, the bowl of rice.
The bowl of rice
Oh,
cream.
that's another classic.
When he was given that.
Oh, I went on
the
and
longest
on
news
and
release.
on. Oh, it was terrible.
For North Kingsville.
Yeah.
Going on.
It's a mysterious, somewhat comical production about an eccentric millionaire gathering his heirs on a remote island. It will tickle your funny bone and leave you tickle your fanny too. Maybe it depends on where you're sitting, and leave you wondering about the cast of quirky characters. Who done it? It says. That's
We're trying to
hey, this
have
is
some
serious.
decorum here.
Yeah, would you?
Why did I ask him to come on?
Right away, it gets filthy. You know, we try to have them on and get the community center going here and publicity.
What'd you do?
Then he gets dirty.
Oh, that's all right.
Hey.
What did you do the other day? I got you on
Oh,
something.
geez, yeah. What the heck?
I can't remember.
Yeah.
Folks, it'll tickle everything. It'll tickle
It'll
everything.
tickle everything. Yeah,
Your whole body.
Your body. Oh boy. Okay, here we go.
We're gonna have to play this one
Gonna
back.
be, this is gonna be a good show. I'm telling you.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, that was funny.
Whoops. Turn the volume down here. I had to listen to that.
Oh.
It was a simple.
You tried to cover up real fast, but it didn't work.
It didn't work. You guys caught it. It was supposed to tickle your fancy.
Tickle your fanny, funny bone.
And I thought I'd get by real quick, but you guys.
No, you let it go.
Oh,
No.
It's still funny.
We just ran this clip a couple weeks ago. We're going to run it again now. And Steve, we gave him this news release to read about an ice cream social. And the news release was this long.
It went on
And I shouldn't have done this to him because he was reading it cold. It's cold reading. It's terrible. It's hard to do.
Yeah, I never had a
And
copy
this is
of it.
what happened that day.
Sunday social, something that I think you and the family would like to go to.
No, that would be,
This one right here.
okay, for the Kingsville Area Heritage Society. That's right. The Kingsville Area Heritage Society, that's a newly formed group of Kingsville and North Kingsville residents, will hold its first ever event in the Kingsville Township Square from 3 to 5:30 p.m. on August 10th. Sundays in the square is an old-fashioned ice cream social featuring soft serve sundaes for $2 each, ice cream cones for $1, and bowls of rice. Yeah, ice cream. There we go.
He was doing so well.
I know, I started off good. $1.25. Soft drinks and cans, water and coffee also available as well. Musical entertainment will be provided in the gazebo. Scheduled to perform are cross-country shoreliners, Grace Flows Down, and the Ashtabula County Town Choir. There's also a classic vehicle show with an emphasis on Kingsville and North Kingsville vehicles held concurrent with the social. Participating car, trucks, or tractor owners will get a free Sunday. Are you okay, Pat? It's not that funny. I only made a couple mistakes.
Oh, right.
It's like a gunshot start, right? That's similar to the gunshot start on the...
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Okay, God, okay. I might as well continue.
No, you're doing great.
Oh, yeah, I'm doing real good. The Kingsville First Baptist Church is hosting Dan Shaw in concert at 6 p.m., and the Heritage Society will sell sundaes and soft drinks during that concert as well. Sundays in the Square is a fundraiser for the organization and a chance for residents to become familiar with the group and its mission. The group is an outgrowth of the Kingsville Area Bicentennial Celebration and Committee. You're not helping much here. This is a disgrace. The mission statement is, through community pride, we will improve the quality of life for Kingsville residents, holding forth the heritage of the past while celebrating the assets of the present and perpetuating a caring and close community for the future. Oh, man. This is live, too, isn't it? This is live. To learn more about the Society, attend the next meeting of the trustees, 7 p.m. August 5th at the Kingsville Public Library, or visit us at the Sunday booth in the park August 10th. The group's next event will be a home movies day in October, and that's all I'm going to say for that. Back to you, Pat.
Okay, that was really good.
Yeah, have you composed yourself?
The bowl of rice threw me off. I'm sorry.
It threw me off, too.
Where did that come from?
Maybe there will be a bowl of rice there, for all we know.
Oh, I feel like a kid.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
The good old days.
You know, I was laughing through that, and then all of a sudden my mood changed to anger. You know, you didn't, I'm upset with this now. You laughed all the way through it. You weren't of
Couldn't help it.
You gave me this long thing, then you
felt
kept
like
laughing.
I was in church and I couldn't, control it.
It was terrible.
What was funny about you is you did not want that rerun again. You know, I don't want that on air. I go, Steve, it's okay. You just made a mistake, and you've lived with it since. But I mean, that was that was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Almost.
It was terrible.
That was upstairs, wasn't it?
That was upstairs.
I thought so,
Yeah.
It was terrible.
I could tell the
Yes.
background.
But
Unbelievable.
I guess that ranks up there with the Fanny.
That's in the same thing.
I think it ranks higher, I think.
Ranks higher.
Oh.
Well, at any rate.
We've all done it.
Yeah, it's easy to do.
Oh.
Like Tom said, cold readings are absolutely
they're not easy,
horrible.
that's for sure.
Yeah.
They're horrible.
Very difficult. You never know what's going to happen.
You know, and the newscasters today on TV, they got this prompter going,
Yeah,
you know,
sure.
and they're looking at the camera, but actually they're reading everything. And yeah, it's cold, but they're professionals, and they do it all the time, and they learn it. They go to school for it.
Actually, they're readers. They are not news people per se.
Yeah.
They are readers.
They are readers.
They're professional readers.
Right. And they're good.
Yes,
most of them.
They're very good at it.
Yeah, most of them.
Are you any community projects coming up for the plays or anything down?
Well, you know, we just did it. They just did a play. I had a little part in it.
That
Mummy,
was
something about the mummy meets Dracula.
Oh yeah.
That. And I try to stay involved at least to promote it, you know, and whether I have a little part or not. Right now I am in our town.
Are you?
Yeah, you'd never know it. The way Martha never has my picture. Or my
I never see a picture of you.
I know.
Yeah.
And I see she's there. Her picture's in all the time.
Yeah. But I am doing our town. I got a little part in that, and it's an absolute great show, and I appreciate the...
Doesn't that tie up your nights, though?
Well, you know, the nice thing about Steve Rhodes is directing that one, and there's a big cast and everything, and I told him, when he contacted me, I told him exactly what my schedule would be, and then I could have an emergency. He was so good about it. He was so good.
That's Steve, yeah.
Yeah, and he just said, do what you can. I don't have a big part at all, which was, that was a good thing.
Do you have to stay for the whole show?
I do, because I come on and off a few times.
Okay.
Even though some of the scenes I'm in, I don't have any lines, but there's a choir. You see the picture in the paper today, shows you a choir. You don't see me. I'm on the far left. But I'm in the choir, and when it's a little scene they have going. But I'll tell you, if you have an opportunity this weekend, tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday, and you got an opportunity to see that, I'll tell you, it is really done well.
It's quite a play.
It's quite a play, and those that are playing the principal parts do an excellent job, excellent job. And the rest of the cast, you know, I mean, we all are part of it. We add to the play, obviously, but some of them have some really big parts.
Well, we've seen.
Yeah, and I'll tell you that, and I don't want to take anything away from the leads, but the guy that plays what they refer to as stage manager, his name's Tom Milligan. Unbelievable, because there's so much to learn about that show. And he goes on, I mean, absolutely a great show. If you get an opportunity to see it tonight.
There was a play down here a couple weeks ago, I think with Clay Nielsen.
Uh-huh.
You know Clay?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
He used to work for me as a sports editor at the News Herald when he was just out of high school or college or something.
Yep.
Big, tall kid.
Yep.
I would not recognize him when I saw his picture. I go, that's Clay?
Yeah.
I remember him
35
years ago.
He's really active in Ashtabula, and he's been doing some shows some what they refer to as murder mysteries, but there's probably a lot of comedy to it, at the wineries. And Spring Hill's
Really?
been one that he's been doing lately. I think they've done like maybe 3.
What
up
does
there.
he do now? Does he? I have
In
no
all
clue.
honesty, I don't know.
Hey, if you ever see him, tell him I said hello. I
Absolutely.
have not seen him in many years.
He was in this little show they did that Mike had all the kids in, Charlie and the Chocolate.
Yes, yes.
Oh, yes.
That's where I saw the
Mike
picture.
Clay was in that, and where all the adults played kids, and the kids, many of the kids played adults. Excuse me, and yeah, he's real active. Him and his wife too.
Tom, when you retire at the end, when you're done with council at the end of the year, do you plan to get back into community theater,
yeah,
things like that?
There's the 2 things that I'm going to really concentrate on because I'm, like I said, take a year off.
Yeah.
I'm just going to remain, hopefully, as the commander of the American Legion.
Sure.
I've been doing that a while. I really enjoy that. I think it's a good organization, obviously, and I think we're very, very beneficial. We have a good committee over there, and also the theater is the one thing that those are the 2 things that I really want to. In the theater, even though it does take time, I'd maybe do 2 a year or so. I used to do like 4 or 5, but those are the 2 things.
Good.
As far as committees and everything, I'm probably going to take a year off of any of the committees. I know that I've always enjoyed it, and to be a part of it and to be a little helpful toward the committees, but they are time consuming as well. And when I do commit to something, it is my commitment, and I am there. I'm very proud of the fact that I have missed but 1 council meeting in 3 years and 3 months.
I didn't even know you missed one.
Well, what happened was I was going to go to Vegas, and I scheduled the airplane, the tickets for Tuesday after council. So I was going to fly out and spend a week out there. I forgot that President's Day was Monday. We didn't have a meeting that Monday. I mean, I'd backed it up. I got the tickets well in advance. And then I thought, holy smokes. And then that Tuesday is the 1 meeting that I missed. I only say that to the fact that I've been healthy. I haven't been sick to do it. Even though I have 16 more to go, hopefully I remain, healthy and that I can have no reason.
16
council meetings, because we have two a month, and I got 8 months.
He's counting them.
Is it down to the second?
I got 8 months, and I don't really. I just kind of say that in a kidding way, because a lot of people, when I first ran for it, they go, "Oh, geez, are you sure you want to do that?" Well, yeah, I was sure I wanted to do it, and I thought, and I was able to accomplish the little things that I really talked about while I was running prior to getting up there, was bringing some civility and professionalism up there. What we could do with the amount of money we had, I couldn't make any promises, and I think that any politician starts promising a lot of things is somewhat foolish to do that, because it's unfortunate, you just can't do it. The one thing you can do is be very active in the community, support the community, do what you can to get out there, and especially economic development. We had an economic development meeting last night with, it was a community one. We have two a month. One with council, one with the community. And we're still working and working and working, and we will. And I'll continue to work right up till December 31st, which is the day that my term ends. And I just enjoyed it. I really did. And I learned a lot. I don't regret it. I just wish I was about 20 years younger, and I certainly would run again. And if the people thought I was doing a good enough job and reelected me, I would appreciate that. But I'm not. So I'm 20 years younger.
You did a good job.
Thank you very much.
You should probably be proud of yourself, pat yourself on the back. It's a job well done, and
Thank you.
Many of the people in the community would say the same thing.
And on top of that, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to come in this morning.
We're
so glad that you did. I wasn't sure if you could make it or not, but it's a real honor to have you on.
I don't know if you got my email. I sent it through my phone. Maybe somebody.
Didn't get it.
Oh, you didn't get it?
No.
You sent me an email, and I was looking on my phone, so I said, well, let me try to respond. Well, obviously it didn't work. How do you work these things?
I know. I'm terrible with that stuff.
Technology. Yeah, I thought I'd try it. That was probably the first email I tried to respond to, and it didn't work.
It didn't work.
I did. I said, yes, I'll be there Friday morning.
Oh, wow.
and I appreciate everything that you've done, the phone company, and of course Steve been with you at your side for many years, and you know, really when you look back at it, the phone company has been such a real benefit to the community itself.
It really has.
Ken and his entire crew over there, they are so helpful. I mean, a lot of people don't even realize what they do behind the scenes to help you out, and they help the American Legion out occasionally. You know, with their bucket truck, they'll put some flags up for us. And, you know, I mean, they're just, and plus to be able to do this, and I agree with you 100% that I heard you a little bit before I came over was the sponsorship. You know, and you would, and hopefully, you know, and that's the one thing. You know, I don't have a clue what the sponsorship costs, but I would think that the community could support this.
Because it's not cheap to put the show on.
Absolutely
it
not.
It costs money.
And you know, and you know, Mr. Eggleston's coming on now, and I know that he's given some nice updates and everything. I know the first few times I came on, I tried to, and I got beat up, and you know, that wasn't
You really didn't get beat up that
not that bad, but.
Tom one time told me, he goes, I think my skin's a little thinner than I thought.
Oh, yeah, I thought I had some thick skin, but I know darn well that I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know what? You dedicate your life to doing something like this for a small amount of money, or anything, really, and you're having constant meetings and stuff, and then people seem to put you through the crosshairs and snipe at you.
The criticism,
You know, I would not want to do that, and I give all you guys credit for going forward and trying to.
Well,
Tom, thank you so
very much.
Thank
Thanks,
you for
Tom.
coming in. We had to take a break. Steve and I will be back to close out the show, and maybe some other clips too, right after this.
Welcome to your Port Conneaut Federal Credit Union.
Happy to see you today. Membership is open to all of Ashtabula County. How can we help you today?
We are a full-service financial institution.
Thank you for stopping by today. With convenient hours to service our members, including a 24-hour home banking service.
What loan product works best for you?
Here at Port Conneaut Federal Credit Union, you're more than just a member. You are family.
Come join our family.
Hey guys, thanks for coming.
Are we in trouble?
No, you're not in trouble. I just want to set some ground rules.
Like what?
Well, remember last week when you hit Vinny in the head with the shovel?
I do not recall that.
Of course not. Well, it was pretty graphic. Too graphic for the kids. So I'm going to have to block you.
You know, I got to make this up to you. This is Vinny's watch, and I want you to have it. You deserve it.
Thank you. That's really not necessary.
No. Come here.
One of the, I want to thank Tom for coming in. That was great.
I like Tom.
One of the mainstays of the show has been Chuck Guglielmo. He's dedicated a lot of his time, volunteer. All these guys are volunteer, to the show, and has filled in for me when I was off and stuff. And Chuck has a thing about animals. He loves his dog, but anything else other than that, he's not real fond
of touching or
dogs.
having them kiss you.
He was offered $100 to kiss it
for charity.
For charity.
I was very upset that he
and he wouldn't do it. He wouldn't do it.
Would not do it.
This happened about a year ago when we had a sickly goat come in from Storybook Acres. This is what happened with Chuck.
Health sources gave us the oxygen to keep her on oxygen. And then Mo and Jim Tanner.
Oh my Lord.
Oh
my God.
You scared him, sweetheart.
Was that a sneeze or
He
what
was
was
coughing.
that? Coughing.
She's coughing. But now sneeze, honey, and really scare him.
Oh my God, my heart's racing.
Oh.
I'm just kidding.
I don't think he's kidding.
It's like,
Watch that suit, Chuck. He'll be chewing on it.
We gotta save that for future.
So I can hurry up and change the subject. This chewing, is that something that's done on a consistent basis?
Yes, it happens. Even sometimes you don't see them chewing, but the cut is constantly 24 hours a day. Otherwise, the food would rot in her stomach. So this goats are supposed to do that.
Jim, get ready, because Pat's going to want this as a best of the show constantly. First it was a horse at the stadium.
Oh man.
I'd never seen anybody jump like that at a cough.
At a cough.
Yeah.
I was about this close to it at the time. I was just getting ready to go like this, and boom.
You'd be fun if we had the horse in here.
Oh,
We'd be on the top of the desk.
Oh, my goodness.
Of course, Chuck and the goat, and the goat had a little cough there, and it scared him a little bit.
Chuck.
We got some other ones, don't we? Have Chuck. We thought we'd do a little feature on Chuck.
Oh, Chuck and the horse, Andy. Okay. Yeah, Chuck was doing an interview at the Conneaut Stadium before a football game.
Before a football game with the Spartan mascot.
With a Spartan mascot who was sitting on the horse. And the horse got spooked.
Spooked, yeah.
Probably by Chuck. But, and then you'll see the
All
clip
right, back
here
on the
Chuck,
official score, and with me now on top of a horse is
Debbie Norris.
Debbie Norris. What are you doing here on top of a horse?
Oh, I'm the Spartan for the Conneaut Spartans, and I've done it for about 8 years. I used to do it when I was in high school, and when I graduated, I stopped doing it for a while, and when I started working for the schools and they found out it was me doing the Spartans, they asked me if I would do it again, so I said absolutely, and this is my second year since I graduated back in '91.
Well, very good, and not only for you, but for the horse, we have very pleasant weather.
Oh.
At least the horse went to my left and didn't come after me. Yeah. That's good television here. So I ask, oh yeah, the weather obviously is not only good for you, but it has to be good for the horse.
It's an awesome night. Hopefully they'll have a heck of a game here tonight, and everything will go well.
And the horse's name is?
Her barn name is Sydney, but her full name, it's all in the cards.
Okay, thank you very much, Debbie. Well, I'm still here. The horse didn't get me.
Unbelievable. All right. That was Chuck.
Chuck and the
It's got to be
Animals.
3-4 years ago, dude, when that happened.
At least.
There's got to be another. Isn't there another one when Chuck does the lottery or something? Didn't he used to do lottery numbers?
Yes, he really, with emphasis and
Yeah.
emotion.
Yeah, I think there might be one of those in there as well. You got it?
Okay.
Okay.
Andy has it. Chuck and the
So
lottery.
Chuck, we'll turn it over to you.
Okay, since this is going to be a competition contest, I'm going to start with Pennsylvania because I bet Cam's going to start with Ohio.
Okay.
All right, so I'll start with Pennsylvania. And the daily number for Pennsylvania, again, that's Pennsylvania, 041. The big 4 number is 5262.
Wow.
The cash 5 number for Pennsylvania, 9.
Wow, he threw hard.
14. 22.
He's going for it.
42. 43.
Wow.
The day drawings for Pennsylvania. The daily number, 879. And the big 4 number, 3279. Now moving into the great state of Ohoho, which is
boy,
Ohio.
He's hitting it hard.
The night drawings.
He's pulling out all
The rolling cash numbers, 8, 13, 19, 28, and 35. The pick 3 number, 6, 2, 8. And the pick 4 number, 1, 5, 7, 6. The day drawings for Ohio, the pick 3 number, 0, 9, 2. And the pick 4 number, 2, 0, 3, 2. There you have it. Pennsylvania and Ohio. I hope you won.
Wow, wow, that's excellent.
Could you do the? I don't think I heard the rolling. Could you do those
Oh,
one
for
more time?
Ohio?
Yeah, the
rolling cash 5 numbers are 8, 13, 19, 28, 35. Did you have those numbers?
I got them. I wrote them down. Thanks,
Okay,
Chuck.
did you win?
No, I
So
didn't.
you still have a chance. Steve didn't win.
Wow,
Very
wow,
good,
toe
very
to
good.
toe. That was superb, yeah.
Oh, Lord. It's hard to make a lottery number sound dramatic.
Only in Connie could we do that.
Yeah.
Make the lottery part
of the show. Well, you could tell we were struggling even then. Trying to fill up some time.
Just say that. Actually, we made Chuck a star that day.
He was good. He talked to the camera.
He was good.
Yeah.
He was fun. He had fun with it.
Hi, you're on the air.
Oh, yesterday you had an stink on the swap shop. I miswrote down the number. I was wondering if I could get that number from you again.
I could try if I have it here. What was it about?
It was a 55-gallon fish tank.
Oh, the fish tank. Yeah. What do I do with it? Yeah. You want the phone number?
Yes, please.
What I have here showing is 228-8121.
228-8121?
Yes. Give that a try.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Okay. That was Brenda LeBounty's fish tank, I believe.
Oh.
Wants it to do actual work? What's going on?
Huh?
Wants it to do work? I want like actual show content?
What's he mean?
I don't know.
I don't know what you're talking about.
How dare we break away from having fun?
Oh, yeah. He wants that fish tank. And it has 3 little fishies in it, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do we have that Bonnie De Kaiser one?
Oh, we do?
Yeah, there's one more clip with Chuck. He was taking down names for a contest, a giveaway or something.
I think it was a snow contest.
Yeah, I think it was a snow contest. The date of the first snow.
And Bonnie's in the air.
Oh,
Bonnie De Kaiser.
December 10th.
Good.
What's your name?
Bonita Kaiser.
Bonnie D. Kaiser?
Bonita Kaiser.
Kaiser.
K-I-S-E-R.
Yep. Okay, Bonita.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Is your hearing a little bit vague?
Bonnie D. Kaiser.
This is Bonnie D. Kaiser. It sounded like to me. Like you guys hear all the names.
I heard of Bonita Kaiser.
No, but maybe this one you heard, but there's some you don't hear.
Sorry, Bonnie, but...
AM Live, good morning.
Good morning. November 26th.
That's a good date.
Kenneth Tryon.
Okay, what was the last name?
Tryon. T-R-Y-O-N.
Okay, Kenneth, we got you down.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yep, bye.
Why, these two are laughing. The phone number here is 593-7181. Go right back to it. Good morning, you're on the air.
Hi, yes. Is November 23rd?
That is a good date.
Okay. Cheryl Cottrell?
Hi, Cheryl.
Hi.
Cheryl Cottrell. Okay,
You guys
Cheryl,
have a
we
good
have you
day.
down.
Thank you. Bye.
Good luck, Cheryl.
593-7181. Please give us a call.
Bonnie.
Good. Thank goodness the phone keeps ringing. Hi, you're on AM Live.
Hi, is November 25th available?
November 25th? That's not a good date.
Okay, the 24th?
That is a good date.
Okay.
Your name?
Jane Dodd, D-O-D-D.
Jane Dodd. Okay, Jane.
Thank you.
Yep.
Bye.
Chuck's keeping it.
Got you down. Yes, it is a good thing, Chuck. Hi, you're on the air.
What about November 2nd?
That's good.
Tanya Bennett?
Pardon me?
Tanya Bennett?
Can you spell that last name? Bennett? Is it Bennett?
E-N-N-E-T-T.
Bennett.
Oh.
That's it. Got you on. Thank you.
We apologize. Oh, Lord.
You said it was Bennett.
November is getting down to now where we just got a few dates.
Oh. I couldn't stop laughing, and poor Chuck was getting mad, I think, towards the end.
Yeah, well, he's prim and proper that way.
Prim and proper. Oh, I don't know. Some things just make me laugh.
Yeah, I know.
And that was one of them.
Hi, you're on the air.
Good morning, Pat.
Hi.
I want to congratulate you on your 5 years, and I hope you have many more.
Thanks, Dorothy. Appreciate that.
And your co-hostesses, which we used to call the characters.
Yeah.
Still are.
And they still are. That's right.
Still are.
Good morning to you, too.
Thanks, Dorothy.
Thank you very
I've
much.
only been trying to get here, you for the last 15 minutes, but you didn't notice the phone was ringing.
I didn't notice that we just had a lot of stuff going on, but I appreciate you getting through and wishing us that. I appreciate that, hon.
That's okay, and you have a good day and a good weekend.
You too.
And all that good stuff that goes with it.
Thanks, hon. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
What does an antihistamine do?
What do you recommend for itchy eyes? Can I drive after taking this?
At Good Neighbor Pharmacy, we can answer all of your allergy questions and help you find the best products for your symptoms. Stop in today and let us take care of you. Get to know your neighbor at goodneighborpharmacy.com/allergies.
See the pharmacists at Gertis Pharmacy in downtown Conneaut, your prescription specialists since 1960.
All right, we're back with Steve Grant here on a fun Friday.
On our 5th anniversary show.
Anniversary show. Been fun. It's fun looking back at those clips that we've done over the years. The one that we did earlier, if you missed it, we did a tribute to Rose Campbell, who saved all those lives off of Harbor Street a few years, 5 years ago, I think it was, 4 or 5 years ago. And we ran that entire clip, and what a classy lady she was.
She certainly was, nice. and a hero, and an unsung hero, but who was just did what she had to do, she said, and was so humble about saving those lives. So
Steve Rhodes sends us an email. He says, just tuned in. Did Tom mention that he's in our show, Our Town? And yes, he did, Steve. He talked about it quite freely here for several minutes. And I remind Tom that there are no small parts. Wait a minute, yes there are. He has one of those parts. So, yeah, Tom had said he's not in a whole bunch, but he likes to be a part of the community. So that indeed is something he likes to do. It's relaxing to him,
and which he will do more of when
and
he
it's time
retires.
consuming.
Yes, it is.
It is very time consuming.
Very time consuming. He couldn't do as much because of his duties with the council, but at the end of the year when he's done, he plans to get more involved in community acting.
And I'm sure he will. I'm sure he will, because
he loves it.
That's something he just likes to do. He got mixed into that out on the West Coast when he lived out there. I think when his daughter got him involved in it, and he decided that he wanted to do that, and he enjoys it. But I'll tell you what, it's not an easy task because he spends a lot of time rehearsing. You take your whole weekend up in the evenings going to these things and being on site.
And if you have a big part, there's a lot of memory of memorizing lines, and it's not like there's monitors that you read right off of, so it's very time consuming, but you got to have a love for it. It can't be a job for you, and he loves the theater and is good at it too, so it'd be nice to see him back.
I know that when I was in high school, I got a part in a play called The Crucible. It was Miss Mosley, our speech teacher, I think, put this thing together. And I didn't want to do it. I tried to get out of it. and being undisciplined, I did not learn my lines. So they put me on stage, and I'm sitting down, and I had this long thing I had to read. I didn't know it, I couldn't remember it. I thought I could put the book in front of me and read it, Instead, they had a prompter behind me.
Oh, really?
And I can't remember who it was. It might have been Steve. I don't know. But they would give me every line. They were kind of like whispering it, but you could hear it all over the gymnasium. And I never got back on stage again. Really, after that, I was like, it's just I didn't want to do it.
It's a funny thing. In 9th grade, I joined the dramatics club. And Tom Eisworth, remember Tom?
Yes.
Al Priest. He and I went in together to read some lines to see if we made the club in front of a nun who was director of the dramatics club. And I just went. I think I was talked into it or something. Tom says, "Why don't you come with me and help me, whatever." And it was a piece of cake, and I just read the lines, and somehow I made it. And I had no intentions of getting into the theater. I kind of regret this. And then I think a play came along freshman year, towards the end of the year, in the spring, a big play, and they wanted me for a part. This nun came to me, who had picked me, and says, "I want you in this play." He says, "It's a good part," and backed out. Didn't want to do it. And I didn't do it. And I kind of regretted it, because that's kind of my thing. I kind of like that stuff, being in front of the audience and stuff, but I never got into it. But
I'm not, the people like that, that's fine. I just don't prefer to do that. I did one of the plays at the community center, just a walk-on part here a couple years ago, and it just wasn't my thing. I didn't.
I liked I liked the part of Bobby. I just didn't like the thought of memorizing lines. I didn't think I could do that and get that. But one of the great actors of our time, the late Marlon Brando, couldn't memorize lines. He always had prompters or
notes or hidden
cards. Yeah.
He, especially The Godfather. He had everything written on his hand.
Right.
And
he did not memorize his lines. He either couldn't or wouldn't.
I think it wouldn't.
And same thing with Jackie Gleason. He knew his lines, but he hated to rehearse. He just hated, and a lot of it was just made up and ad-libbed. That's how great he was. But,
one of the problems I always had as being in a band was covering songs, because I could not remember the lyrics. And that's why I wrote a lot of stuff that only I knew, because I knew the words because I wrote them, and if I made a mistake, who knew? Who cared? But yeah, it's a very disciplined form of entertaining, and it's something that I certainly would not want to have to do here. Jim Bailey out in California said if I could watch the show, because we're not streaming, of course, would be nice to see a clip of the first 15 minutes of your first show. And do we have that, Andy? Yeah. All right, we'll show you just a little bit
I'd like to see that myself.
The first day that we were on the air, April 14th, 2008, 5 years ago, that day.
Now, Kenny, I've been meaning to say this. That's right.
Not coded, is it? We just shut it off.
Hey, hi, hey, how you doing there?
Good me to tell you how much I'm much I want it. Turn it off? Huh? Does it turn it off? No, that's record.
Oh, nothing?
Yep.
Yeah, mini DV, digital.
Yeah, so we'll get a.
Are we hearing? Yeah, we're hearing audio levels.
We'll get copies made today.
Well, we can actually do that.
All right.
Yeah, because we have a professional DV deck.
Ooh, all right.
And then we'll mix it down to
put them on a.
The one I had the other day is that a DVD or a DVD.
So to play this out, I'm going to cut audio first. Cut audio to mic 3, I think.
Oh, that's the one you.
Yeah, that's mic 3. So you're going to go on mic 3. I'll just say audio. When we get out of the room, so cut back to this. And then as soon as I'm out of the room, the door is shut, and then you go to Pat. Okay. Give me about 1 warning.
All right, we're getting ready here. That's what I used to.
All right, so we're gonna go quick audio to Ken. I'm gonna cut back to the DVD audio. Once Ken leaves, then I'm gonna cut to you guys video and audio.
So you're gonna use this?
He's gonna use mic 3.
Okay.
So I'm gonna unmute mic 3.
Okay.
Radio and
Just
camera,
leave it
that's all
roll.
it is.
That's all it
is.
We'll be on for 15 Just no nasty gestures. And it's going to be the same retro 1360 radio.
40 seconds?
Radio 1360. Retro, and then Pat went to get you
a different roll.
Okay, we'll
Ready?
look at this.
30 seconds.
We'll look at this before the
20.
how does that come out?
I'll point to. 15. 10. 5.
Good morning, Conneaut. On behalf of the Conneaut Telephone Company, Cable Suite 541, and the Conneaut Cable Advisory Board, we're pleased to begin broadcasting Pat Williams.
No.
Didn't go?
We're back to the way it was.
No? Did you mute the DVD feed?
Yeah, I muted.
Oh, we didn't do the video switch, which...
No, we didn't have to do video switch.
Yep.
It was just video.
Check. Viewfinder and see if I make a field video.
Hold on a second. Alright, I'm just going to cut all 3 mics.
Well, you're not going to be able to talk over the DVD, switch box.
No, that's just video. That's nothing to do with audio.
Yeah, but you got to turn the DVD audio off.
That's what I did.
No, it's still on.
I know, I turned it off for a second.
Oh,
It was supposed to go off, but it didn't. So anyway, we'll just cut the whole feed and see where we are.
Alright, here goes. DVD is going off. 3 mics are coming on.
Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4.
No, he said no.
Testing. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. He said no. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, we're testing 1, 2, 3, 4.
Watch Chris. Good morning, Conneaut. On behalf of the Conneaut Telephone Company. Good morning, Conneaut. On behalf of the Conneaut Telephone Company, Cable Suite 541, and the Conneaut Cable Advisory Board, we're pleased to present Pat Williams in Conneaut AM1. Please welcome Pat Williams.
Thank you, Ken. And we're going to do the news first off this morning. And good morning, everyone. This is Pat Williams. Conneaut AM Live Morning Show debuts today on cable channels 6 and 21, made possible through the Conneaut Telephone Company. This program will air between 7 a.m. and 10 a.m. Monday through Friday. It is basically the WL Morning Show, but with a camera. The content and lifestyle changes, health, local, and national interviews will continue. There will also be telephone call-ins, but not for the first couple of days or maybe the first week while engineers work on the technical aspects of this endeavor. We'll continue to have call-ins, but we do not want constant negative feedback. Let's start over fresh and try to help make Conneaut a better place to live. We want to be a part of the solution to make things happen right here at Conneaut. There are some controversial issues surrounding this extension of the morning show. Hopefully that situation can be worked out. Well, everybody's been asking, will Vicki Marcy be appearing on the Conneaut AM Live show? And the answer is absolutely yes. Vicki is scheduled to appear on April 24th. We'll be bringing with her a spring basket giveaway. Viewers will be able to call in and qualify for this beautiful basket, and at the end of the show, Vicki will select a winner. So stay tuned. There's going to be a lot of fun here on the show. In other news, City Council meets in regular session tonight at 7 p.m. in Council Chambers at City Hall. A variety of items will be on the agenda. The meeting will be shown on Channel 6 and 21 and rebroadcasted on tape throughout the week. On Tuesday, of course, it's tax day. Unless you've made arrangements, make sure you file those taxes by midnight Tuesday. And Mike Sanford, chairperson of the Save Our Sports campaign, says his committee has raised about $28,000 of the $40,000 goal he wants to raise for sports and keep them active in the Conneaut School District during 2008 and 2009. Sanford said donations continue to come in. As a matter of fact, yesterday at the corner of Main Street and Mill Street, Sanford and a crew of young people raised over $2,000 from folks just driving by. Checking the weather, it looks like it's going to be partly sunny today with highs in the lower 40s, north winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, cold with lows in the upper 20s, and on Tuesday, mostly sunny with highs around 50. Again, I'm Pat Williams with your Monday news here on the brand new Conneaut AM Live. And right away, I'd like to introduce my co-host, a good friend of mine for many, many years, Tom Udell. Thomas, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you very much, Pat. You know, I really feel honored to be sitting here with you and being a part of the history of the Conneaut area. Conneaut AM Live, sponsored, of course, by the Conneaut Telephone Company. What a great crew they have over here, Pat, fixing everything up. Things really moved along smooth. We're very fortunate that...
it's amazing. A week ago, less than a week ago, we did not have any of this in here. And all of a sudden, these people, technicians put it together. What a great group.
It really is. It's going to be a lot of fun. And as you said, the guests that are going to be coming are going to be plentiful. And it'll be interesting guests, not from the area, I mean from the Asheville County area, from the Conneaut community. A lot of people will be dropping in, and certainly it's going to be a lot of fun and some good interesting stuff.
At University Hospital's Conneaut Medical Center and Geneva Medical Center, we live our mission every day. You can see it in the life-saving work of our doctors and nurses. You can hear it in the helpful, comforting words of our staff. And you can feel it every time you walk through our doors. At University Hospitals, our mission is you.
Okay. Whoa. That was the first day, and you know what? What was amazing about that? I don't remember any of that, but like you said, it was like 6:45, and we were still testing to get on the air.
It was.
And then once we were supposed to be on the air, we weren't, because things just weren't tied up and finalized. So.
It was raw footage there, and it was tough. It was tough. It's amazing. It lasted.
Yeah. This long?
Well, no. I think as things, as we tweaked a lot of stuff, it's obvious. We should have stayed.
I didn't realize we didn't take phone calls the first day.
Yeah, after that first week.
I wonder what we did the rest of the show. I mean, we had 3 hours to go, and it was just Tom and I.
I don't know.
No phone calls.
It had to be tough.
No emails, because nobody knew our
Nobody
emails.
Watching. Except your mother and sister who turned it off.
Congratulations on your 5th anniversary. Not sure how you've lasted so long. Seriously, you're a major contributor to this community, and 1360 WOW is proud to carry the show. Bill Shannon, of course, Bill Shannon at WOW Radio, and listen to Bill Shannon at 10 o'clock. He'll be following us right here at 10 o'clock with all the weather updates and all the gas prices that are going on out there. That seem to be slipping down.
A little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit.
And updates with all the community activities coming up over the weekend and starting next week as
Bill's
well.
a pro. Bill's a pro, and he does a good job. I enjoy watching or listening to him.
Do every day.
Every day, and we thank him for those kind words.
Thank you, Bill. Appreciate that.
So here we are on this rainy day to celebrate a 5-year anniversary. There you are, still going strong, keeping us up on current events, weather, local crime, missing residents or children, helping to find our lost dogs and cats, and even a bird. I think we did have a missing bird.
Yes.
I never did find that bird. You are there to offer comfort or sympathy for our citizens who are ill or the many we have lost in the last 5 years. Thank you for reminding us how a simple gesture of kindness can last a whole day, week, or even a year. For all the guests who inform us about our medical issues, for your storytelling, humor, and commitment to this community. Thank you, Pat. From Michelle Zarati. Thank you, Michelle.
Wow, thank you,
sweet.
Michelle.
That was very nice of you.
Very nice.
Good
And,
writer.
you know something,
talent.
Michelle, you really captured Pat in the show exactly and precisely right on, because that's what the show tries to do and has done for 5 years, led by Pat Williams.
Thanks, Steve.
We thank Pat too.
Thank you,
Because
Steve.
without Pat, this show probably wouldn't be on the air.
So that's nice. Thank you.
No, seriously.
I'm sure that be somebody that would be able to carry the the banner here.
Well, actually, a monkey could. But seriously, no, really, you have a tough job. I've always said that it's not as easy as it looks, folks. And Pat has done this for 5 years, and he's done a job well done.
Thank you.
And there's nobody better as an interviewer. I say that with all sincerity.
This is from Penny Armini. Penny couldn't make it today. Neither could Chris. She's out of town, but Penny couldn't make it today. She had too much on the plate. But she says, congratulations. Hope this makes it in time. Love you all, Penny. Penny, of course, our Thursday guest co-hostess here on the show.
Right back at you.
Yeah, thanks, Penny. We love you too. We are looking at 9:54 as we head towards the top of the hour. The Bill Shannon Show, as I mentioned, is coming up right after this show here. And again, lastly, and I've done it before, but I want to do it again. I want to thank all the co-hosts here that donate their time for the community because they love this community, they love the people in it. And I can't thank Steve, Penny, Chris, Chuck, of course, when he can come in, Tom Udell, Kathy, and all the other cast of characters that have been a part of this show, that have filled in and helped out. Michelle Zarati, who actually came on and did a couple times and did some carving for us, and I'd like to get her back because she says that she has got some new carvings that she's been
Really?
doing.
Oh, you got to have her back then.
So we'll have her back.
What a
here.
talent.
And I'll get her here on a Friday maybe, so you
Good.
can interview her as well. Very talented young lady.
Yes.
593-7181. We just have a couple minutes left here before we head out for the weekend. And Steve, it looks like it's going to be a rainy one all day today. And what is it tomorrow too? It looks like
I think it's going to clear out tomorrow, but with the clearing out, the cold front, it's going to be chilly.
Could have some snow flurries tonight and tomorrow.
It's not going to. It's
Staggering.
not going to accumulate, but it'll be chilly but dry, I think, during the weekend, and then I think next week there's more chances of rain.
How about those Indians? 2 nights in a row.
2 nights in a row, they did not lose.
It's about a good thing, but
yeah, they were rained out.
I hate to say it, but by starting, I think it was Tuesday night, I started losing interest already, and I said I would not criticize them.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Pat. Did I not say back in February, I had a serious concern, a real serious concern about the starting pitching, which everybody did. I know that, and they did not pick up anybody. I wasn't worried about the hitting, except for Josh Masterson, Justin Masterson, who seems to have come back from last year. They have nobody.
This Jimenez is terrible.
He's done. See,
how big of a leash are you going to give this guy?
He's washed up. He's done. McAllister is young and he's promising. I haven't given up on him, but he's not ready yet. Bauer's not ready yet. And Myers is a cast-off from Houston, the worst team in the league, who didn't want him. So
and Casimir hasn't even been able to.
And Casimir, and he's coming back from surgery, and it's terrible. It's terrible. It's in shambles. It really is. The starting pitching is in shambles, and it's like the starting pitching is like a point guard or a quarterback for a football team. Without them, you're not going to go anywhere.
I just read this morning, and I did not know this, and I don't know the name, but the Browns actually made a trade for Dion Lewis, who is a running back, a not big guy, but
for Philadelphia. Yeah.
From Philly, is it?
Played against the Browns in the preseason game. Yeah, they like him. So, who knows? It's a crapshoot.
Yeah.
Who knows? You want to take that one last call?
All right, we got about 20 seconds. You're up.
Hi, Pat. This is Jerry June's husband.
Hi, James.
Hi, James.
She wanted me to call and let everybody know that she wanted to say hi to you guys.
Oh, thank you.
And she wanted everybody to let them know that thanks for having her in her prayers and everything for her.
Okay.
Very good.
It's still going on.
She's doing all right, but she's up and downhill and all that. But she went to see her doctor the other day, and I got to get her set up on some stuff. Other than that, she's all right.
Well, tell Eunice we said hello, okay?
I will.
Thanks, James.
Thanks, James.
Bye-bye. All right, we got to get out of here. Have enjoyed the weekend. We'll be back here on Monday morning at 7 a.m. with some interesting guests that we'll have here on the show. Steve, have a good one.
You too.
Thank you, and thank you for 5 years of support. We appreciate that.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.